Alrighty. How are folks doing? I am personally quite excited just to sort of get going into this. I was anticipating streaming and, you know, just, I've been looking forward to it. I enjoy streaming at this point quite a bit, and I honestly only just yesterday realized that, that Zenless wasn't going to be coming out with the 2.0 update until a few days from now. So I was like, oh, wait, okay, what am I doing? Because I still wanted to stream today. So I just thought, hey, why not? Let's get straight to this. Yeah, I'm gonna get into it pretty dang quick here, I think. Not gonna delay much at all. Just making sure I have some, you know, important resources for the Nuzlocke just up on my phone. Okay. Yep, alright. Time for round 2. I was very sort of curious to see how that stream... Not that stream, what am I saying? How... Oh, that was a test I did. How the poll was gonna go. Just because I didn't know. I was very split on what I wanted to do myself, because on the one front, very unsatisfying to end on a loss. But on the other front, of course, you know, going forward into the next game is nice also. So I was happy either way it went, and evidently people were split on it as well, seeing as it was tied for the longest time. I did decide on Vivian for my polls. I just felt she sort of gave more to my account in general, and then also I just definitely fell in love with her even more with the story. I tried a few polls at Hugo, but I did like 20 polls, I think, but no luck. So, you know, I'm gonna poll for Yijuan though. But anyways, as we go into LeafGreen rather than FireRed, in the spirit of doing things slightly differently and in line with the thumbnail, I'm gonna swap things up here. But yeah, so sadly no Hugo, despite the fact that I was greatly anticipating him. Maybe I'll pick him up on a rerun if possible. But when you have the two, like for me, the two most invested characters I have are Miyabi and Ellen, because I have both them and their W engine. The only other character I have that for is Evelyn. Goddamn, I misspelled my name. Oh my god. I misspelled my name. Oops. That's what I get for reading and talking at the same time. Well, yeah, we'll do the same name this time for our record. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. But, given that 2 ice DPSs are some of my most invested characters, one of which is, like, the most powerful character in the game, and the other one is in 2.0 getting buffs, it was sort of rough to, like, justify from an account standpoint, Hugo, so it was purely just, like, how strongly did I just want him for him. And I did enjoy the vibe of his playstyle. I did try to pull for him a little bit, but I didn't commit to it. Alright. Anyways, though, we are beginning to get moving. Let's see here. I'm going to randomize our starter again as well this time, but I think I will make sure that it isn't Squirtle again, just for full diversity. So realistically, it'll be a coin flip between Charmander and Bulbasaur. One of which is a lot nicer for early game than the other, but then Charmander, his line would absolutely be, like, more valuable in the sense of there are very few fire types, but We'll see. Oh, I should change the settings to make these text boxes go by faster. Alright. God, do they go slow normally. Yeah, let's see which one we get as soon as I change that setting. Text speed fast. Battle style set. And let's spice up the frame. I think this might be the one we had last time. Let's go old school. Go for the original style. Alright. So, let's see. I'm going to do the coin flip. Alright, is this is Charmander, okay. We've got Charmander. I'm not too upset about that. I'm a big fan of all three. And yes, give a nickname. Our starter this time is not female, they're male this time, so everything's just different. So many more names. So many more names. Let's see. Gotta get into the groove of naming. Yeah, no, the Kanto starters are one of the few starter sets that I just universally am happy with all of their, like, options, I think. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Dremgi. We got Dremgi the Charmander. Yeah, because originally I was more of a Squirtle Charmander fan, but then around the time I started doing Nuzlockes and stuff, I became much more a fan of Bulbasaur as well. Just thinking about it, yeah, I think Gen 3 is the one that I have the most sort of like universal fondness of their starters from like how good they are in my mind. I don't necessarily think any of them are like my #1 favorite starter, but for an overall coverage, some of the best. Yes, Professor Oak, I know how to play the game. I almost was the champion in a different timeline. This is probably nostalgia talking, seeing as it was the first ones I played, but I think the Gen 4 lineup is also just sort of universally pretty solid. In that one, the Chimchar line was my first, like, pick. That was what I had in my first playthrough. But, for Platinum, I went with the Turtwig line, and I think, in the long run, Turtwig is sort of, like, my favorite of the three. Yeah. Gen 3 is certainly something. Gen 3 is always so weird to me, though, for a variety of reasons, just because, like, Mudkip is a major standout, but then there are so many water types, so just in the case of, like, a Nuzlocke, for example, diversity-wise, you're sorta inclined to do something else, but Mudkip is so good nonetheless. And Blaziken is really, like, just solid vibes-wise. I think it's when we come back that we get that map. Oh, well, okay. And then Grovile's line is one that I've not really speculated on much. It's there, I don't have any negative feelings towards it, but it does just sort of exist to me. Alright, here's to hoping that we don't just immediately die to a random wild Pidgey. And then Gen 2, I really like both the Totodile and Cyndaquil lines. I'm really big fans of both of those. And then I'm forgetting the first one, but Bayleaf, that line, is one of the ones I've neglected the most in all my time in Pokemon. I have never picked Bayleaf's line. Oh yeah, no, that is very fair. That is very fair. Yeah, thinking about it, I haven't read the manga, as I've mentioned before, which I really gotta get doing, because every time you mention it, it sounds really fucking good. But just sort of like thinking about even the anime, it definitely does ingratiate certain Pokemon quite a bit. I guess that makes sense, though, that if you have them as established characters, that you're more inclined to get attached to them. I didn't really mention Piplup much when I was talking about Gen 4's line, but though I've never played Piplup, I am a big fan of Piplup. There we go. Getting the parcel. Part of me is tempted, when we get to Gen 4, to just go with Piplup for the sake of I've never played with them before. But another part of me is like, keep it random, embrace the gambling. But we'll see when we get there. That's a while off. Alright. Yeah, and then obviously Gen 5 onward I have much less of an opinion on, just because I haven't played those. Or at least not properly. So, really my only vibes on them are like my first impressions, not much else. And there are some solid ones from the later gens. I just don't have as many opinions on them. Yeah, no, very much so from the anime. I think as a kid, seeing the anime and, like, Ash's Charizard very much made me inclined towards Charizard as a kid. But given that he showed off all of them, I think that also helps for me to just have been ingratiated to them all. Alright. Here we go. The Nuzlocke itself has almost begun, at which point it will be time for me to get some rare candies from my friend. Alright. I'll be curious to see what we get this run, because early on we simultaneously had some good and bad luck in our catches. Because, like, we got the Mankey, despite it not being, like, the highest chance or anything. But then, you know, generally speaking, I think we actually had sort of poor luck, because we had some deaths early on. We got a Beedrill instead of a Butterfree, or even a Pikachu, potentially. Yeah, no, we didn't have, like, crazy luck. The main standout was that we got Mankey. So, I guess we'll see if that happens this time. I can't fucking believe I misspelled my own name in this. I'm gonna fucking live with that if we... I'm gonna have to live with that if we just win, and then that's the name in the Hall of Fame. Alrighty. Can we pick up the map now? Yes, we can. Not that we really need the map. I know Kanto pretty damn well at this point, especially having just played through it, but not bad to have. Anyways, I'm gonna real quick save the game here. Yeah, I know there's already a save. That is just a test file. God damn it. It was just a test file to make sure that the game was functioning and shit. Alright. Oh yeah, no, totally. God, I played so strangely as a kid, but I feel like we all did anyways. Swapping over real quick so that I can covertly get my friend to help. Alright. Here we go. This should only take a brief moment. Yeah. I think I've mentioned before a couple anecdotes of how I was playing when I was younger, but yeah, I think the biggest standout, like, stupid thing I was doing was just brute forcing my way into the wall of the Gen 4 Elite Four, not trying to level my Pokemon at all, just seeing if I could manage to get through it with just the heaviest hitting moves I had. I very much was the brute force kind of player at early times in my life. Mm-mm. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's rough. I never did much actual trading or anything as a kid, so I did not suffer from that. But God, yeah, that I had no fucking clue of that early on myself either, so I would have gotten fucking wrecked by it as well. Yeah. It's actually interesting that I didn't do much trading because I had friends who played. Oh, fair. That makes sense. Uh yeah, why didn't I do any transferring? I don't know. Huh. Strange. I guess that's just something I never felt like doing as a kid for whatever reason. But yeah, I guess I've never been much of a like living decks or anything similar type of person. I've always been more of the mind of sort of taking the games as they are more than anything, rather than bringing along like one Pokemon I've had for a long time. Mm-mm-mm. Though probably my original games still have their original files if I were to scrounge them up. But that would be time consuming and painful. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That is fair. Da, da, da. Yeah, I had a couple friends who played Pokemon and had some of the same games as me, but for whatever reason, I can only really think of like one or two times that I really did any of the more like social side of Pokemon things, like trading or fighting my friends in the games or whatever. And that was like one time that I can think of, and I don't think I did any trading even. So that is one weird thing about me, sort of like childhood wise, is it's not like I didn't have friends, but I just didn't do a lot of uh like multiplayer stuff. I just, for whatever reason, didn't feel the urge. Anyways, we are back, and we should. Yep, there it is. That is the wrong item. You saw nothing. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I thought I gave myself 4 stacks, or, well, my friend gave us 4 stacks, but, 3 should do fine for a while. For sure, the entire screen. Anyways, with that in mind... Yeah, we have Pokeballs, so it is time to see what we get from Route 1. Probably just a Pidgey or a Rattata. Pidgey. Well, actually, I think it's guaranteed to be one of those two, but anyways. Alright, Dremgy, don't one-shot this thing. Yeah, no, very much so 3 batches, I think, should be more than enough for at least this first stream. Alright, we only have 5 Pokeballs, but this thing is already in the yellow and 5 levels lower than us, and it's also level 2, so... First try. There we are. Alright, now the main question. Do I continue the bird naming scheme? Sure, why not? So we've had Bimdy, Spimdy, and I forget what the third one was. Yeah, God, I certainly hope we don't have any that just destroys our Pokeball count. Let's go with Zimdy. Gonna go through the whole fucking alphabet before we run out of bird names. Definitely not gonna make it hard to remember what you're talking about. Anyways, potion that we'll probably throw away at some point. And now we move on to other routes. Alrighty. Alright, hi Rattata. You are not on a new route, so I'm not catching you yet. Okay. We have 2 routes immediately at our disposal. I think I'll go north first, just because I feel like it. It'll either give us a Rattata, or I think it might be able to give us either a Caterpie or a Weedle. Either way, it thins out the options for the other immediate routes, so we'll see what we get. Does this Smart sell any more Pokeballs? Because it would be quite nice to just immediately get a few more. It does, good. Let's go... Let's bring it up to 15. And then just, though we'll pick up a few probably, I want to pick up at least 1 antidote just to have, so that we aren't in a panic state later. Yeah, no, at the very least, the early game of Kanto remakes, I know pretty well. I know, like, who is and isn't a trainer largely pretty well. It's more like mid to late game that I get fuzzy. But, for whatever reason, the FireRed LeafGreen games are the ones that I've, in recent, like, history, played the most, I think, with the next one being Emerald, because I've attempted a few Emerald Nuzlockes and never succeeded one. Just keep failing at either the Elite Four / Champion or against Tate and Liza, because Tate and Liza are a fucking wall. But, yeah, so those are sort of it's really Gen 3 then, I guess. For whatever reason, has ended up being the one I've played the most in recent history. As a kid, I played a lot of Gen 4. It was, just the ones I had. And then I played Soul Silver a good amount as well in recent history, but not as much, because they're just, bigger games, so I've not gone to them as many times. And I beat a Nuzlocke of it, I think, the first time I attempted one, so I haven't gone back to it. But yeah, we're gonna go up to Route 2 here, see what we get, then we'll jump back down and go left. Alright, Rattata. Alrighty. Will you be like Rumkus and cause us great terror? Alright. Seeing as that could have been a low roll, and crits are always possible, I'm gonna see if I can catch it off of that much. There it is. Yeah, I always remember, though, for that initial route, that just that one guy always gives a potion, and it's just so easy to pick up that I always do. So it always is just sort of reinforcing itself. Alright, so before we had Rumkus, who was a menace, I'm leaning into the, fucking alternate timeline nature of this playthrough. First we had Rumkus, now we got Pumpkus. Alright, now I'm just gonna loop back down, not forgetting to pick up the other route. Realistically, I should be fine to just immediately head over there without healing, because I don't think, Drumgy got that hurt. So I think the only other option here is Mankey, and we just get Mankey on the first shot. Okay. I think we're cleaning up all of the encounter options. And this one's level 4, so it should absolutely be able to take a scratch. Oh yeah, I can get scratched a few times. Alright. Though I could go for another, I'm just gonna start falling. We're getting the original trio back together, but, you know, with Dremgi this time, and they're not quite the same. Alrighty. Yeah, so I don't want all of our mons to just be named after the Fallen, so let's go for something new on this Mankey. Yeah, jumped. I was considering adding more onto it, but jumped. Alright, now I'm just going to heal up, maybe level a couple times, and... well, actually, we don't even need to do that trainer battle. That one's completely unnecessary. I always tend to do it, but it is completely unnecessary, and given that we're in round 2, I might just expedite the process and keep going. Skip the optional trainer battle. God, we already have 4 mons! We're doing good. Not that it's that surprising, but you know. Now is the real question, though. What do we get from Viridian Forest? Do we get the Caterpie line, Weedle line, or Pikachu? One of those is so much less likely than the others. But you never know. You never know. We might get the, like, 5% chance or whatever it is. Either way, it'll be found out pretty quickly here. Also just gonna pick up items along the way. I got so used to having the running shoes that now it's just sort of painful not having them. Right, the item isn't there, it's up here. There it is. Ah, an extra Pokeball. Perfect. It is not the 5% Pikachu, it is a Metapod. Honestly, it's bad for it to be a Metapod, because that means it doesn't know any moves. Not that it's going to be that big of a deal, just because I'm going to be able to level it with the rare candies, but... God, it's going to take forever to get this thing's health down. Now, of course, here's to hoping that we don't secretly crit, and as we learned previously on a previous stream, ignore all of this defense up that it's giving itself. Because that would be rough. Yeah, electric and fire are very rare in Gen 1. If we're going by Nuzlocke rules... There's only one place... Well, okay. There's only 2 places that you can get... Alright, I'm gonna start catching now. But, there's only 2 places that you can get a fire type or an electric type. And then you also can get a Eevee that can become Flareon or Jolteon, of course. But for base game, not counting Sevi Islands, that's it. But for amount of Pokemon, if you don't count starters, there's only one catchable fire type in the game, I think. Maybe, well, I forget where you can get Magmar. And Magmar, I'm pretty sure, is only in LeafGreen, but... Yeah, I forget where Magmar is. Either way, what I'm thinking of is there's 2 different routes right next to each other that you can get Growlithe or Vulpix, depending on what game you're playing. Anyways, we got Murmple. And then for electric types, there's Pikachu here, and then the Power Plant, which has, like, Well, no, actually, there is one other place that you can get electric type. You can get a Voltorb on the route immediately prior to the power plant. So there is, not counting Sevi Islands, more electric type opportunities than fire type opportunities. I believe, at least. I don't think I'm pretty... Oh, actually, I think you can get a Growlithe in the Pokemon Mansion. So there's more than I thought, but it's pretty consistently low for both. Alright, trying to avoid as many fights as I can. Yeah, luckily for Metapod, though, in this case for us, even if it just knows Harden, we can get past that pretty dang quick through the power of rare candies. Yeah, I think realistically, there's only one mandatory fight in the forest. And seeing as we're just rare candying it, there's no real need to do all these other fights. Yeah, because we can avoid that guy, and I don't think that guy's even a fight. I think that might be... They might be the first move tutor or something. But it's a good thing we got Metapod. That is nice. Though Pikachu would be really nice just for an early electric type, it, you know, of course wouldn't be good against this first gym. And then just from like other option standpoint, Metapod's line going into Butterfree is just really good. Alright, I think we should be able to handle this even without leveling. I don't know what level they are, but they're a bug catcher and we have a fire type. Yeah, I believe this is the only mandatory fight in the entire forest. Level 9, okay, so they are higher level than us, but we have Ember. Not one shot because they are higher level. Not surprising. Don't poison us, please. Alright, still 4 damage. Not horrible for this low level. Anyways, we kill him nonetheless. Drumgi grows in power. Good for them, but they are immediately going to get benched before this gym. Alright. I guess I should pull up what the level cap is, because we are at the gym. Alrighty. Level 14. That's what I thought it was. Just wanted to make sure. Alright, so realistically, I forget what level we get Metal Claw, but it, I think, might be just out of our reach of the level cap, meaning that Zohi will be our go-to. But, hey, we have all of our other mons in case it gets desperate. Why am I going to the box? We don't have anything in there. Alright, time for the first level routine of the stream. Gonna just be fast about it. Not waste our time by doing it at normal speed. Oh, Millclaw is level 13, okay. Lucky! So we have 2 entirely viable Pokemon for this. But I am gonna get everyone up to level just for the sake of it. Sand attack if we get desperate, that's nice. Gust, of course, just good to have Stab. God, no choices are even necessary this early on. Alright, and then Pumpkiss gets some power. It would be great if Pumpkiss could survive to become Eradicate this time around. Because God is Eradicate good. Alright, almost to the level cap, so Hyper Fang already learned, massive. Alright. And then jumped. Low kick already, good, that'll obliterate the Onix. And okay, Karate Chop, nice. I hadn't checked their moveset, so I don't know what he has other than that. Alright, there we have it. And then Murmple. Yeah, early game Raticate is insane. Alright, Murmple becomes useful now, because they learn Confusion. And then... do they learn anything else? Yeah, okay, they get Poison Powder. And Stun Spore. Nice, okay. So we have a pretty solid set of 5 here already. Their Gemt is a little bit higher in the health department. And then it has just Scratch, Leer, Low Kick, Karate Chop. Okay. And Karate Chop is 50 power. Yeah, okay, and has a high crit rate ratio. So probably we are just going to be able to use Gemt to obliterate both the Geodude and the Onix. Just Karate Chop the Geodude, Low Kick the Onix. And if necessary, we can have Dremgi deal with the rest. So let's just go straight in. And then once we're done with that, we'll get the running shoes and we can move so much faster. Alrighty. As always, let's avoid this trainer because it's that easy. And let's begin. First gym of the run. Should not be hard. Should be at most like 3 or 4 attacks. Alrighty, let's see if you can do anything to me, Brock. Your Geodude will probably just instantly die. How much does this do? Not a one-shot. Okay, okay. Yeah, the Deceptive Bridge, indeed. Alright, they upped their defense. Poor choice. There we go. And then a Low Kick honestly should just one-shot, I think, given how heavy an Onix is. Even if it's on level with us. Yeah. There's no way they're winning. Jesus, okay. There we have it. First gym with ease. Would have been a little tougher if we didn't get Gemt, but even without Gemt, Metal Claw would have done plenty of work for us, I think. And Confusion is also pretty nice as just like a simple, like, special move to do. So I think we were pretty set there regardless. Yep, I know what a TM is. I'm well versed in them. Yeah, I always am so shocked at how much of a glass cannon Onix can be. And I say that as if they even are, like, that powerful offensively. Like, Earthquake, I think, is pretty much the best they can manage for pure power. Other than that, they just sort of exist. I really wish Onix was better, because I like Onix. Big snake made of rock is just always a solid vibe to me. I feel like that's one thing I very much appreciate about the Gen 1 and, to an extent, Gen 2 Mons, is just, they're all very simple, and though for some of them that is sort of to their detriment, like, I'm a fan of the Seal Dugong line, but they named a seal Seal. They named a snake Ekans. They were not being super innovative with some of these original ones. But at the same time, just doing stuff like, let's take a big snake and make it a rock. That's cool. Let's... like, stuff like that is just good for me. Oh yeah, Muck. Oh my god, pile of goo! Alright, so, yeah, we have to fight this person, and it looks like they're a bug trainer, so let's bring Dremgi back in. And while we're here, double-checking what the next level cap is, 21, okay. Yeah, no, very much so. Onix, I think, is as high as they are in my personal preferences, entirely because of anime Brock. Otherwise, I mean, like I said, solid idea, just put two things together into Pokemon name. But for an actual, like, gameplay-wise Pokemon, God, is it bad. Alright, we should be able to just sweep this entire team. If they're feeling bold, they might have, like, a Kakuna or a Metapod next. Yeah, I mean, regardless of how much I like or dislike any given modern design, I never can personally find it in myself to complain about things like, I'm forgetting what they're called because I'm just less familiar with the later lines, but, like, the Ice Cream one, Cleft Key, ones like that, I can never complain about them, because once again, as I just said, Gen 1 has a rock with arms called Geodude. It has snakes that are the names of Snake and Cobra backwards. They have a seal named Seal. If anything, things like the Ice Cream and Cleft Key and stuff like that are far more original than Gen 1, some like the Gen 1 ones. But I absolutely do agree that, in general, modern Mons are a lot more designed. They are much more over-designed. Which isn't always a bad thing. There's plenty of Mons that I think benefit from the complexity of their designs. But some of them, it's just like, why did they do that? Because, I mean, like, just look at Gen 1 starters. We've got Charmander. They are a smooth, largely featureless lizard with a fire tail. That is their design. It's simple, it's nice. Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, there are some really fun ones from the sort of mid to modern ones that I really like that. Once again, though, I obviously am just much less actively invested in a lot of them. God, okay. 3 required fights, jeez. Yeah, that is a very good one. I'm trying to think of some of my modern favorites. Yeah, no, that is very fair. There's a lot of modern Mons that just have so much going on in their designs, but are like the basic version of their type for their generation, and it's always a bit much. But at the same time, I am not of the mind that modern Pokemon has lost its sauce in making designs. They still make some solid designs. Hi, Dremge's evolving! It's just that, you know, some of them are over-designed, and a lot of the people who are saying that the new designs aren't as good are almost certainly a mix of nostalgia clouding their vision and just, you know, preference for the old style. But part of it for me, I feel like, just sort of comes down to the effect of, when I look at a Pokemon, do I think it's a Pokemon? And very rarely, even with the new Mons, do I don't think she was a trainer. But very rarely do I ever think, when I look at a new Pokemon, that isn't a Pokemon, that's a knockoff or some shit. I usually think, okay, yeah, that looks like a Pokemon. It just is very different in design philosophy. Alright, I'm gonna just Poison Powder and then get out of here as fast as possible. Yeah, the evolutions, all of them are really solid. I really like all the evolutions. Nice that the Jigglypuff missed. I guess I don't actually need to swap out, because I can just Confusion. Yeah, we're fine. Between Poison and Confusion, we should be able to whittle it down. Especially if it defense curls pointlessly. I am very curious if we'll ever get more evolutions, though, because is Sylveon still the newest one? Have we not gotten a new one since? Yeah, so Sylveon would have been the last, if that's the case. I'm honestly shocked that we don't have more. Alright, anyways, let's see what we get here. It could be a Nidoran, I believe. Okay, that's a Dupe's Claws moment. But, yeah, I think the notable possibilities here are one of the Nidorans, or maybe a Jigglypuff? I think those are the main, like, sort of go-tos. Oh yeah, Ghost Eevee would be really cool. Yeah. There's a lot of types, actually, that we don't have evolutions for, I guess. Yeah, Ghost is one I've always been fond of. Ah, Spearow, the most boring option, because it's not one purely based out of this spot. Anyways, I'm gonna Poison Powder and just chuck balls. After several birds, we find a different bird. Alrighty. Hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult to catch, though. Sad that we did not get our hands on something more unique, though, as Spearow and Fearow can show up in a lot of places. Alright, there we go. Yes, it will become a Dupe's Claws for future. It's just a shame, because there's a few routes where there isn't much other than Spearow or Fearow, I think. But it works. It means in a few places, I think we'll be able to guarantee, what would it be? I think we can guarantee a Doduo in one spot with that in mind. I'm not sure what else. I think we might be able to guarantee an Ekans pretty soon here. Limdy the Spearow has joined us. Alright, but now going to swap it back around, because Dremgy is just nice. Oh god, someone's poisoned. This is why we have the antidotes. I guess I did poison them, duh. Yeah, no, Dragon Eevee I think for me, Dragon and Ghost Eevee would be the ones I'd be most interested in seeing. Just because I feel like they're pretty unique options that we haven't seen before. Okay, there's nothing down there. And I feel like unique is sort of the way to go for the Eevees. Like, I understand not necessarily doing one of every single type, but having a couple more for some of the more unique typings I feel like could be very cool. I think there's like an item here or something somewhere on one of these rocks. I think I did this whole rigmarole last time. And maybe there wasn't. I guess not. Never mind. Alright, anyways. Time for me to immediately pivot back to Murmple. Good old Murmple. Let's see what we get. Is it a Zubat? Is it a Geodude? Zubat. Okay, okay. If Crobat existed, that would be very cool, but even without that, it's fine. Poison Powder won't do anything, so we'll stun forward. Yeah, that is quite possible. They would have to figure out what unique way to do that. Anyways, I'm honestly just gonna throw a ball, because, I don't want to risk killing it. Do we get first try full health? That we do! Alright, let's see if this Zubat can survive more than, like, one fight this time. Zubat, Zubat, Zubat. Ooh, sure, why not? There we go. Now we can just breeze through the area, and realistically, Dremkey can do that pretty well. Between Metal Claw for any Geodudes and just Ember for stab on anything else, should be able to make quick work of things. Also, actually, what am I saying? I'm just gonna fucking run from any of these. It is always... I do enjoy that joke of naming Pokemon different Pokemon. But no, that was not the right route I was going. Maybe I'll do that at some point. Ah, damn. I miss having just infinite repel potential. On we go, avoiding as many trainers as possible, but still picking up items on the way, because this early in the game we very much need items. Having antidotes and stuff is just always good to have. God damn it. I don't know why that caught me off guard. Alright, Super Nerd, you have a fucking Steel type? Good luck with that. I do find it funny how the introduction of Steel type basically only affects Magnemite in Gen 1. Because I don't think Steelix exists yet. No, actually, no, I think they do. It's just, they obviously were entirely retroactive, so they wouldn't appear anywhere, but... I guess one thing I should keep in mind is the most obvious pathway, almost always, is where they place them. So if I just sort of offset myself, I should be able to avoid more trainers. Either that or just don't run into things as much. Anyways, that went quick. Get the fuck out of my way. I have a potion to pick up. A deeply important item. Oh my god. The caves! The bats! They're everywhere! There we go. Alright, what's this? Ah, a rare candy! How useful! Yeah, no, I mean... They do a good job of placing them where they do for you to do that exact thing. It's just painful that I keep doing it. Alright. And then we got an escape rope. That's good to have. That is very nice, actually. If we're ever, like, out of antidotes, someone's poisoned. Wow, the first Geodude we ran into. But there's some dire scenarios that a escape rope could be nice, and also, obviously, just... if we're afraid of running into trainers or something. I can't wait to be able to just avoid all this. Anyways, I always forget what ladder is the intended one to go through for getting out, so I'm just gonna go down this one and see where it leads me. Hello, Paris. One of the more elusive grass types in this gen. I don't think I've ever used a Paris just because they're basically nowhere to be found. Alright, this is the wrong one. But hey, a star piece is money. So I will not deny that. But now we just have to slog through all of the Zubats and Parises to get back up. Luckily we can avoid that one Team Rocket guy who got very lost, it would seem. Yeah, that is the only way to, in any way, have a chance of getting a Paris in a Nuzlocke. Unless there's like a 1% chance on the main floor, but I don't think so. Yeah, very much so. That's like the only way to get a Paris in a Nuzlocke in this gen, and they are not a mon that I am desperate enough to have to worry about repelling my way to. Because I feel like Zubat and Geodude are just entirely more viable options in a lot of cases. I don't know what moves Paris's line learns in this gen. It's probably completely fine, because, you know, grass type is grass. God damn it. I fucking yap, and then I don't pay attention. But, what was I saying? Yeah, I just feel like, compared to the fact that you could just get other grass types elsewhere, at similar times, and the fact that an early Geodude, or a Zubat are just solid pickups as well, Paris is just not essential enough of a pick to go out of your way for. Yeah, no, that quad weakness to fire is very brutal. Alright, luckily that went very fast because they have nothing to their name. I think there might be an item back here that we might want. I want to be a little attentive to items, just because that way I'm not needing to run around scrounging for them at the end game. Hopefully we can avoid this guy. Yes, we can. I'm pretty confident that's the ladder we need to go down, but pretty sure there's an item back here of some sort. Probably not in any way worth it. It's probably just like an antidote or something, but... Oh! There are 3 ladders? Since when were there 3 ladders? Huh. I don't know where that 3rd ladder goes. I think they might be. I think they very well might be. It, at least to me, makes sense that Bug would be weak to ice. Alright, is this... I think this is the correct way. I think the other way might have, like, a TM or something, but, it's fine. I'm not gonna backtrack that hard when we have no repels. Amazing! A useless item. Alright, let's see if we can catch the spin. The quick turn! The quick turn strikes again! Alright. Luckily they only have 2 mons. Let's just Ember our way through this. Alright, how much does the Hyper Fang do? Oh, okay, not nearly as much as I was worried about. I'm very fearful of Hyper Fang. It's very powerful, all things considered. What else you got? A Sandshrew? Okay, I guess I'll Metal Claw instead. Yeah, okay, that's not the best option, all things considered. I think I'll pivot. Murple has Confusion. Yeah, just a few EVs is always nice. Even if it is just minor numbers. Let's see how much Confusion does. Don't want to waste time if unnecessary. Like that, in case I crit. Murple with the first crit, I think. Unless I missed a crit earlier. Grimgy might have crit at some point, I don't know. Either way, first crit I noticed is to Murple. Alrighty. Hopefully we don't run into any more unnecessary fights. Unfortunately, there are at least like 1 or 2 more mandatory ones. Perhaps the new Bloodthirster. Perhaps. We shall see what Murple does to... I don't know, who's the next team we use them against that like we actually are planning for B? I mean, I guess they're not the worst thing in the world against, Misty. Like, they're not bad there, I don't think. But... yeah, I don't know. I don't know when the next, like, actually specifically good fight they are gonna be in is. But they'll be solid just in general. Having a psychic move is always nice. Yeah, there's a lot of status application stuff that that are very silly in some of these early gens. Leech Life won't save you, as you healed essentially nothing. Oh my god, okay. Alrighty. There's one mandatory fight done. And now, I think there's only the one other mandatory fight. Yeah, okay. And if I recall correctly, they have a Magnemite, so, among other things. So, Dremgi should still just be our best option. Trying to keep an eye on their level so I don't over-level them, but we still have a few levels. I guess one thing to decide pretty quickly here is going to be if we do the bridge fights and all that, so that we can get a few more patches before Misty, or if we do Misty first. As our team is not the best against water currently, but we could probably manage. But we, in all likelihood, will pick up a grass type, so should be fine. Anyways, poison, yay! Luckily, we have a second antidote. Yeah, I think instead of the Budu line, we have the Bellsprout line in LeafGreen up in that area, and we'll have two chances. So, probably worth it to try against the, like, series of fights. Anyways, I'm being a bit bold with Dremgi here, because they are just the most powerful warrior, and also a tackle does 2 damage from this Voltorb, Jesus Christ. Yeah, because I think the one route between us and Misty that's just like, we're gonna pass through anyways, I don't think it has a grass type for us. I think we picked the Helix Fossil last time, not that we did anything with it, but continuing the mirroring, we go for the Dome Fossil this time. Almost forgot. Let's deal with that poison. And this is why I bought a single antidote. Knew we'd need it. Yeah, it's... If I recall correctly from my time in the tower, I think on the first couple floors it's a guaranteed encounter, but then on the, like, final floors, you can actually get a Ghastly, I believe, from the Sprout Tower. Oh, hey, another antidote. The recycling. So, it's almost certainly a Bellsprout for Nuzlockes in Heart Gold Soul Silver, but technically speaking, if you can somehow manage to not get an encounter for the first couple floors, or you just intentionally repel up, you can find your way to maybe a Ghastly if you're lucky. Alright, I'm gonna heal up before I get the encounter, just to be safe. Yeah, I've never used Bellsprout really either, so I don't really know what they get that's different from other Mons of their same, like, typing. I forget, are they just pure grass? Or are they grass poison? There's so many grass poison types in Gen 1. I think they might just be pure grass. I guess we'll find out here in all likelihood. But first, let's do Route 4. getting our catcher in front, Murple. Let's see what we get here. I think Ekans is our most likely, but there might be something else. I guess while we search, I might see if I can pull out what level our rival is in this next fight. Because getting up to them would be a good idea. The hunt for the non-dupe continues. Alright. I think technically it's in Cerulean City that you fight him. I guess not, but it would just be the next route. Yeah, okay, there it is. Their highest level is 18. Okay. So though that's not our level cap, we're just going off of the gyms for level cap. That's at the very least what we'll want to level to. Oh! Oh, is Sandshrew instead of Ekans for LeafGreen? That might be the case. I'm actually just curious to check that because I'm already sort of like in the area on my phone. Yeah, no, it's Sandshrew instead of Ekans for LeafGreen. Oh, okay. I did not realize that. We get a ground type. Let's be careful about this though. Let's stun spore him. I miss. Alright, that doesn't do much. They are grass poison. Okay. Jesus, there are so many grass poison types. Does that make the only pure grass Pokemon in Gen 1, Tangela? Is that the only one? Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Sandshrew design. Something about it is just real nice but simple to me. Anyways, I'm, just because it's low level, hopeful that I can just do this with just the balls, but it is being difficult because it's at full health. Oh yeah, James' Victory Bell is very goofy. Odd. If I'm trying to remember, I think in the anime, his Victory Bell just sort of appears. I don't think you ever see him catch his Victory Bell. I think it just sort of shows up at one point in one episode. Team Rocket is so fucking good. They are objectively the best part of the anime. Alright. Okay. Alright, Sandshrew, you've caused me enough issues, cost me enough balls. I'm gonna throw actual attacks at you, but I'm going to be kind and use a mod that will attack your exact typing. Well, not exact typing. The physical rather than special, so that all those defense curls in... That was a crit? Okay. So that we don't kill it. Yeah, okay. We should be able to whittle it down here and not kill it. Oh, it might have been from his family. It's been just long enough since I rewatched the original series that I forget exactly. I just remember being very thrown off when it showed up. Oh, I just realized I might not have... I was just about to say I shouldn't have done that last attack. God damn it. Well, no Sandshrew for us. At least not now. There's probably going to be another chance for it, but damn it. I was sort of excited for that. It seems like no matter what universe we're talking about, Runkus/Punkus will shed blood. Honestly, I should have known that was going to happen if I sent Punkus in. It's in the nature of them to just kill anything we put them in front of. Okay. Alright. We realistically don't need a ton of strategy for this upcoming fight, but still good to put some thought into it. That is unfortunate. I think there might be other places we can find it, though. Ah, sleep powder. I am always more fond of sleep powder than poison, well, than stun powder, I mean. But also, we only get rid of Harden. We don't need Harden. I'll probably get rid of stun powder once we get well, stun spore once we get something else. But for now, it can survive. Yeah, for the most part, I haven't, like, rewatched or reread much in a long while, but only a few months ago, I randomly was struck with the urge to start rewatching the anime. Supersonic. Confusion is nice, but the 55 accuracy is rough. So I don't think so. But yeah, so a few months ago, I ended up just going through the original anime and just watching a ton of it. And I got all the way up to the start of the Orange Islands, like, arc. So, you know, the part between Kanto and Johto. But by that point, I had watched, like, 100-something episodes of Pokemon in, I don't know, a month? Something like that. And God, was I tired at that point. I was enjoying it still, but it was a lot. Alright, Zimdy evolving. Always nice. If I recall correctly, this fight should open with a Pidgeotto, so I guess we'll need to figure out what our best Pidgeotto counter is. Anyways, why was I not speeding this up before? Obviously, Gemt is not the Pidgeotto counter. Fury Swipes? I'm not a fan of Fury Swipes. Alrighty. Dremgy is already plenty leveled, and let's just get... Well, actually, is Limdy even what we want for this fight? For variety, I'm gonna go grab, our Zubat. Just for a little variety, rather than having two flying types that are just, like, normal-ass flying types. And I think we're all healed still, yeah. But let's get Vulu leveled up. I guess we have Supersonic there now. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Alola Onward, and I'm fairly interested in, like, how things got changed up, because I've heard a lot of good things. But I had already stopped watching, like, the anime as it was releasing for a while at that point. Because just thinking back to my childhood, when I was watching the show as a kid, Gen 4 was airing, because, you know, it was the modern gen. But then also original series reruns were always happening, so those were the two things I was mainly exposed to. And then I was, well, what am I saying? And then once Gen 5 started, I just didn't enjoy it as much, because, even as a kid, I liked Brock a lot, and he was gone. He disappeared! Anyways, okay, I'm trying to think, against this team, you don't need a ton of strategy, as I said, but still good to have a plan. He has Pidgeotto, so flying type. I don't think we have anything that is, like, an actually good counter to flying. I don't think we have anything specifically good against it. Definitely not Gemmed. But we definitely have just strong Mons in general. But then they have an Abra that presumably can't do anything, a Rattata, which is a Rattata, and a, they would have a Squirtle. Okay. Alright, so we don't need to worry about this too much, right, in all, like, likelihood, because this shouldn't be that tough. Actually, given that Pidgeotto is normal type as well, Gemmed is actually not that bad against them. It's just, you know, flying versus fighting is rough in the both directions. Yeah, we don't have anything like actually effective against flying. Yeah, no, Misty was just a very solid companion. It was a very, like, good thing, I feel like. Well, not good. It was very much, the fact that she was there for all of Kanto and Johto very much solidified her. Alright. I think, honestly, I might just go for the mirror match. Just because we have another full flying type in the wings if absolutely necessary. And also ours is a little higher level. Yeah. Yeah, I never saw much of the Hoenn anime, but I've seen a little bit. So I don't really have too much of a opinion or thoughts on anime May, but, you know. I feel like one thing that definitely is just sort of interesting to compare is who the companions of Ash are in each generation's, like, anime storyline. Because, you know, Brock is just sort of eternal until Gen 4, well, until after Gen 4. Okay. Rattata. You're a normal type. Fuck it, let's punch the rat. Let's do this strategically. But then Misty was there for both Kanto and Johto, as mentioned before, which really solidified her for a while. But then, yeah, it's interesting to sort of think about. But then, of course, Gen 5 onward, they just completely reset the cast every time, which is certainly something. Anyways, I don't think we need to be at all afraid here, because I think Abra should not have anything they can do to us. So I'm going to be bold and just stay in. Yep, they failed to use Teleport. God. Yeah. Now that I'm talking about it, though, I do actually want to get back to watching the anime again, because, I don't know, something about it, it just feels good to me. Going back, I did greatly enjoy it more than I honestly even expected. Something about the early series was just always really solid. Alright, so we have a water type. It's already pretty hurt, so that's not great for us. Let me double check moves. Okay, we have nothing crazy for it there. Interesting, yeah. Huh. That is very wacky. Okay. So, we don't have anything, once again, that is, like, actually particularly good against just water. So, I guess it's just keep throwing our most powerful warriors. Meaning, I don't see why we can't keep Gemmed in at least a little longer. Karate Chop! Let's see how much this does. Not bad. Okay, Tail Whip. Defense. A little scary, but we should be able to do quite a bit here, especially if we get the opportune crit. The crits are on our side so far, except for that one time where Pumpkus killed our Sandshrew. 2 for 3. 2 for 3. Let's call it that. Alrighty. So that's the main big scary fight, but we then do have several other fights to deal with. Yeah, the thing I think that sort of surprised me about the early anime is, first off, you're absolutely right, it has a charm to it. It's very clear they're just sort of riffing and don't really have anything super solidified yet, and are just sort of doing what sounds interesting to them. But I feel like it might just be that I ended up catching a lot of reruns as a kid, but it feels like there was a lot less bloat, and like, I guess what you could call filler mixed in throughout the Kanto storylines. That is a bug catcher. We have a bird. Let's give variety. But something else that I find sort of surprising is in line with actually following a story ideas. I think because they didn't know how long the story was going to go for, how, like, if they were going to have the anime past Kanto, initially at least, it does actually sort of feel like there is a level of improvement and development of the characters at times. Like, there's not much. It's a deeply episodic story. But they do make a point of making Ash the most incompetent person from, like, a Pokemon fighting and training side of things in the initial several episodes. And then, for most of the series, he can eke out victories, but is still pretty crappy. And then by the end, once you're in the Pokemon League, he's, like, actually using strategy, not just using his favorite Pokemon, but the ones who would strategically be really good in a circumstance. And, like, in-universe, people are, like, actually commenting on, wait a minute, he's actually doing pretty good. Oh, yeah, God. Fucking VHS. The sprinkler, God, the sprinklers against Onyx was fucking insane. Oh my God. If I remember correctly, I don't think that was intentional. I can't remember, though. That was one of the really early episodes. But God, VHS. Though VHS was absolutely on its way out, and DVD was already a very prominent thing by the time I was a kid and, like, conscious of my surroundings, I definitely, in my early years, used VHSs. The first TV, like, the TV that my family had when I was a kid, had a VHS player, not a DVD player. And so most of the, like, movies and shows I watched as a kid were VHS. So I definitely have some nostalgia for VHS as well. Yeah, no, that's the thing, is there's actual, like, amounts of character growth and, like, things actually happening, no matter how minor it is. I also find Misty an interesting character from the, like, original series, just because she starts off literally just wanting to get Ash to pay for her destroyed bike, and then she starts doing the tsundere thing of, like, the real reason I'm here is so that you can pay me back for my bike. I definitely don't like traveling with you. What are you talking about? And then, but then eventually is not going to outright say it unless, like, explicitly prompted for it, but will just be like, I think there is a point in the show where Ash quips something about, like, isn't the only reason you're following me just so, like, I'll pay you back for your bike or something, and she just says, what are you talking about? Do you still think that's the reason? And then, like, says nothing more about it, but I think that does happen at some point, like, late on, like, into the original series. So there is, like, development on that front as well. Whirlwind. not that relevant. Why am I speeding up? My instincts. Alright, then Ekans. Oh god, the Intimidate! Our physical attack, how could this happen? Oh my god, the fucking Titanic episodes. I find those so funny. I love that the entire reason the boat sinks is because James gets scammed into buying a Magikarp and then abuses the Magikarp until it evolves. And then it attacks them. That is such a goofy storyline to me. Alright. Yeah, I need to keep watching that. I'm very curious to see what going through the Orange Islands and Johto will look like, just because, you know, it very well end up hitting that point where, Nidoran is poison ground, right? So I need to give it. But I'm very curious to see if it ends up landing in the... Jesus Christ. I forgot it had Peck. Scary. Do we have anything that is actually good against poison here? I mean, Psychic would be, but I'm afraid. Well, that was a crit. I think we can survive one hit if absolutely necessary. Just for insurance, I'm gonna Sleep Powder. But yeah, as I've been trying to say and keep interrupting myself, I'm very curious to just see if it gets more episodic in the sense that the characters don't change as much. They become more stagnant, that kind of thing. Because there very much is a certain point, I know, where Ash just sort of becomes perpetually the dumb kid who actually can sort of do good Pokemon stuff when he really tries, but usually is just fucking up constantly. And that is how they have him for most of the series, but... That is a wild piece of character. Oh my god. The more I hear about the manga, the more I'm like, this sounds like amazing. It sounds so fucking good. I was not aware of that. Huh. That is really cool. Now I wish she showed up in some form. I feel like Crystal in general has been fairly shafted by the series, though. Because, you know, being a new protagonist for a game that was not the remaked ones, because it was sort of like the third one in its gen, means that she's sort of just disappeared in general, which is sort of unfortunate, but you know. Anyways, I'm gonna just, for safety, head back in here, because Murmple does some good work with that confusion, and I want to keep using it. Yeah, no, very much so. The staple "what are you doing, Ash" moment is Pikachu losing to anything early on in any given generation's storyline. Like, there is no way that Pikachu should be losing to anything ever post, like, Kanto, pretty much, that isn't late into the storyline. I am very curious to see, though, if I were to continue watching, how well Ash does in each given Pokemon League. Just because he did fairly well in the Kanto League, but, like, he didn't get to the finals even. And then I remember that in the Orange Islands storyline, he wins that league, but it's such a non-league that it doesn't really matter in the long, like, run of things, but... God. Fucking headband guy. Yeah, in the anime, I mean, his dad does replace him at the gym in the episode that he leaves to join Ash. God. I still find that entire plotline very funny. That just purely anime Brock is this older brother taking care of an entire, like, family of siblings whose dad is just on the edge of town selling rocks. Oh, hey, hello there. No problem on the videos. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I definitely enjoyed making them. I am very eager for Yijuan's release. I'm greatly anticipating them. I'm very curious to see what their song is going to be, whether it's called an EP, music video, whatever they call it. Oh god, we're confused. We got through it, okay. Yeah, and I think technically they're supposed to get a teaser, but I don't know when that's happening. Oh, I have very much anticipated that, because if they're following any sort of pattern, which this is Zenless we're talking about, so we shouldn't trust that in the first place at all, but still, it is entirely likely, based on previous patterns, that the EP or teaser releases either tomorrow or Thursday, which I believe Thursday would be when the stream is happening, because I believe that's when it would release. Because I think it's the 5th that it releases, where I'm at the very least. Which does mean it is entirely possible that that happens. Which, if that happens, I suppose we will probably have another case, like we did with the Ask or Youd teaser, where I probably will just finish the stream out by reacting to it and then edit it after the fact into a proper video. So I guess look forward to that, if any of y'all are interested to see that. Anyways, though, for now, we are about to catch some Mons. Murmple, get in here. Let's see what we get. I think Bellsprout is one of the options. Abra should be one of the options. Oh, hey, there's Abra. The chance of one ball working is incredibly low, so I'm going to attempt Sleep Powder. Good. Cool. Alright, now I don't want to kill Abra, so I need to be careful here. It is resistant to Psychic, so I think Confusion should be fine. Let's hope it doesn't instantly wake up. Yeah, okay. It's still fast asleep. I'm not gonna risk it any further. I'm not gonna risk it any further. Just throwing a ball once it's hurt a little bit and sleeping. Here's to hoping we get it. We got it, boys. Boys and girls, we got it. Nice. I don't know if I've ever caught an Abra in a Nuzlocke. Hell yeah. Cabino. We got Cabino the Abra. That is as soon as they can evolve going into the team. That'll be a good evolution for once we have my friend help us out, actually, as well. Alright, and then we can use this patch of grass to, I think, probably get a Bellsprout. Yeah, Bellsprout. There we go, and it's level 14 already. That's nice, that's nice. It's a poison type, so poison powder won't work. I'll sleep powder it and go from there. Yeah, Stab Confusion is going to be insane. Okay. So... don't want to use Confusion on this one, because it's gonna fucking die if I do. I don't want to do Gust or anything either. What moves does Vulu have? Astonish, Leech Lightning Bite. Jeez. I'm not sending Pumpkins in again. I'll send Vulu. Yeah, that is a big Psychic type, though, to have. I think it's the only pure Psychic type in the game. Oh my god, that is such a pull. Yeah, god. Alright. Just for the sake of not killing it, time to do some Astonish gameplay. That does a lot more than I expected it to. I guess we are low level. Alright, they are awake. So I'm gonna do one more, then pivot back to be able to get it asleep for just peak chance. And they are setting up their special attack. Hopefully they don't somehow just one-shot Murple here. Jesus. 2 damage! Alright, sleep again. And now it should be pretty much a guarantee catch. I mean, not obviously. Obviously not truly guaranteed, but close enough that it might as well be. Yep, there we go. First Bellsprout as well. Alright. We have a proper grass type. This Bellsprout will probably come in handy for this next fight. Mibs. Once again, I was considering adding more, but then I looked at Mibs and I went, yeah, Mims it is. Alright. Yeah, their damage output wasn't the greatest there. Alright. So we can now go up to level 21, and I think we should be able to avoid everything other than Misty. So I'm just gonna level everybody up that we're gonna take into the fight. Realistically speaking, this is a water gym, so our best options will be Zimdy for flying, not Grimgy. Lindy just for another flying type, probably. Mibs is a grass type, so might as well. Sure. Hulu may be a flying type, but they have no flying type moves currently. Yeah, maybe they will if we level them the last bit. Yeah, truly for his own safety. And let's bring Kambino out just to see what level we can get him to. Though Gems could work, let's leave them behind for now. They did their job, and now we can do some other stuff. Alright, we're gonna want to restock on Pokeballs soon. Alright, so level 21 is the aim. Being careful not to over-level. Quick bursts of speed. Let's see. Focus energy? I do not care. A setup move just to increase crit ratio? Nah. Oh! Pumpkins is evolving. We're actually getting to Raticate. Yeah, her Stormy has a Psychic move. But it isn't Psychic type itself, but nonetheless, probably a good idea to do it as we are, if not boxing Pumpkus as well. Anyways, Scary Face sharply reducing speed. Though it's sharp, I feel like defense lowering is better. Yeah, no. One more level. Pumpkus has become large. Truly surpassed Rumpkus. I mean, Rumpkus did only kill one potential catch, if I remember correctly, from last run, so they've achieved as much as Rumpkus on that front, and then also now is big. Alright. I forgot what level Abra evolves at, but we got Combino in here. God, yeah, fair. Automatically gets confusion, hell yeah. Alright, let's see what else we can get him. Disable, okay. One more. Psybeam already? Oh my god, stab Psybeam? Okay. That's gonna do some numbers. If we just ever need a strong hitter, just with nothing else in mind, Combino is the way. Alright, we're about to finish off our first stack of rare candies. Pursuit, might as well, it's a dark type move coverage-wise. We do not need both Leer and Growl. I'll get rid of Growl. And then, oh, they're evolving. Yeah, I'm probably going to just, between this stream and next stream, check, learned move differences between, Brain, Kadabra and, Alakazam, and make the decision then, because I don't want to risk losing out on like every move in the same way that it is if you preemptively evolve some mons. I think usually the trade evolutions don't have that issue, but better safe than sorry. And also that way we don't need to interrupt to deal with that. Growth is funny, and Wrap is bad, so I'm gonna get rid of Wrap. Alright. We do now, between Murmple and Mibs, have two catcher options. Which is nice, in case one goes down or is injured or something. Last time we had two, I diversified. I don't think I'm going to do that this time, because we didn't have Sleep Powder when it really would have been nice at one point. So, just going to sort of stick to the ones I like. There we go. Oh, wow, 21 is when they evolve? Huh. Okay, we've got an evolved group. What level do they evolve again? Or is it a trade evolution or something? Leafstone, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay, it is a Leafstone. Okay. So when we get to Celadon, we can evolve them to Victory Bell. Alright. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, it absolutely makes sense. But I find it very funny that we're going into the second gym with, let's see, 3 fully evolved Pokemon? In Murmple, Pumpkus, and Limdy, and then the rest of them are on their second of third evolutions. That is sort of absurd. So, I think we'll just come out swinging. Let's send Limdy in first. And we'll just see how it goes. If we need just pure heavy hitting, we can bring Combino in. Let's be careful to avoid them. And now, if we take another step forward, we'll fight that one, so we do it from the side. Alrighty, let's see if Misty is as clean a sweep as Brock. Probably not as easy, but should be fine. Staryu, level 18, okay. Peck should be the best option. Not a one-shot, but good, especially if they just pardon. I certainly hope it will. That is the goal. If we can get through a lot of the early game with, like, no real losses, that would be huge. Because just having more options late game is gonna be nice. Anyways, let's see how much this Peck does when we're equal level. They're faster, and Water Pulse is scary at this level. Okay. Ugh, okay. Okay. So, they did, what would that be? 25 damage? Yeah. And if we, for safety, assume that was a low roll, it's possible they could... No, it's not possible they could kill. It's not that wide a difference. So unless they crit, they won't kill. We only did that much damage. Our team is fairly special-centric, other than Pumpkus and Zimdy, I guess. How defensive is Lindy? Only 30 on abode. Zimdy is a little bit more special defense. Is it actually Psychic type? I thought it just had a Psychic. It is Psychic! You are right. I thought it was just Water type with a Psychic move. So Pursuit could be a good option. Let's see how it goes and hope they don't crit. Okay, not crit. We are confused! Don't kill yourself. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Okay, never mind. How tanky is Pumpkus? Better tankiness, even if they have a little less health. Limby is fucking already dead. Jesus Christ. And Limby had a 50 speed, so Pumpkus won't outspeed, Zimdy won't outspeed. It looks like we're not outspeeding, so we just need to go for power. Nibs is not quite as tanky, but has about the same max health. Pumpkus does not have a dark type move. Zimdy would just be gusting. What's the power difference between Peck and Gust? 40, 35, not massive difference, not enough to matter. Meanwhile, Hyper Fang is just damage. The accuracy is rough, though. Yeah, the part poison part is scary. I'd love to send Kabino in, but with it actually being Psychic type, it will resist. Yeah, okay. And if it wasn't poison, it would be the option, but... And we aren't outspeeding, so it absolutely did it. So, I think our best option is to trust in Zimdy to get a few good hits in, and then pivot around. I think that's our best option, because super effective with 40 power and 36 attack compared to 35 attack. 80 power with a slight chance of missing, though the flinch could be nice, but we aren't outspeeding. So I think, let's trust in the capacity of getting a few hits in on everybody. I guess I could have done Poison Powder and then just stall. Oh well. Let's see how Gust does and how much this Water Pulse does to us. Yeah, okay, that's scary. Because it can confuse... Oh my god, yeah. Okay. I think what we need to do is... Murple needs to survive a hit. He got confused, which is worrying. But damage-wise, they should survive a hit if they can make their own. And it doesn't crit. It didn't, and we should have enough health that even if we hit ourselves, we're fine. But that means that we have to immediately pivot. Okay. Jesus Christ. I was hoping to get either a poison or sleep powder off. I think I accidentally clicked sleep powder, but you know, whatever. I'm gonna send Pumpkins and see what happens. Don't immediately confuse us. God, that does more than I would hope. Don't miss Hyper Fang and don't confuse us. We hit the Hyper Fang, how much does it do? That's good! That is good. You did your job, Pumpkus. Let's hope Kabino can take a hit from a Water Pulse. Oh, fuck, I had Quick Attack! You're so right. Anyways, they were in a Super Potion anyways. It would have been enough, but they were in a Super Potion anyways. A plan. Swift? Okay. Not what I expected. Did a lot of damage. I don't want to lose Combino. This is... Fuck. Oh my god, okay. Do they not have a Psychic move? Have we just been unnecessarily worried? Yeah, they don't have a Psychic move. Come in here, Mibs. Should resist this. Yep. So Mibs was just the answer the entire time. Just for insurance, I'm going to sleep. Yeah, that still does more than I'd hope, so sleep powder is good. You know, now that I realize it didn't have a Psychic move, we're fine. Vine Whip should do some decent damage. Yeah, as long as he doesn't get confused, and our confused luck has been rough enough that it worries me, but also, statistically speaking, we should get a break, I guess, hypothetically. Anyways, assuming it doesn't... Okay, it's no longer disabled. That disable was worth basically nothing. I thought I was gonna Gambit it, but oh well. There we go. Mibs was the savior. We only had the one loss. Okay. And though it is sad to lose Limby, they are honestly, of the people we brought in, the most disposable, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, but unfortunately to call them that. Because we already have another flying type in the... that is just, like, mint as a flying type. So, honestly, if we were to have a death, that's sort of the best outcome. Yeah, let's heal up first. Yeah, we should have trusted Mibs. Mibs could have done it. Probably, honestly, from the start, because I don't know if the potion would have been procced at the health they were at the second time. Either way, though, it worked out. Alright. Dremgi, let's bring you back, because you're the OG. And you are beginning the box, Limdy. The dead box has begun. Okay. We don't need both Murple and Mibs. But since we have Kabino, I'm going to actually box Murple just to not have as much overlap. And let's bring Gent in. Yeah, this works. I'll take that. And let's give some time for Mibs to be in the spotlight as they saved us there. Because that definitely was closer than I was hoping. Oh, right, we gotta talk to Bill. Now we got Brave, just a couple trainers. Okay, so I think we have to fight that guy no matter what, so I'm just gonna take this one. Do we have anyone that is specifically good against rock types? I mean, Remgi. But honestly, I want to see what Kabino can do. Kabino, let's see how you obliterate things with Psybeam. An Onyx? Oh, hey. That thing is so low kickable. But, yeah, let's swap things around a little. How much does this do? Everything. We are 4 levels above, but Stab Psybeam is good. Believe it or not. And they only had the 1 Onyx. Oh my god. Alright, that's enough. Can we get past this guy? Alright. Oh my god, that quick turn almost got us. Okay. This is the best way to go. I'm gonna wait for them to turn to me again. Because if we go this way, we only need to do it once. Turn. Turn. There we go. Yeah, because that way these are in the way, and then we can just fight them straight away. And then I think we have to fight both of those. Which is fine, though, because it'll get us access to an item. Alright, a Nidoran. So spooky, so scary. Anyways, have you met Psybeam? Something tells me Kabino is going to be carrying us for a while. Because any Team Rocket fight, they're going to be one of the go-tos for, because all the poison types they have. And then, just in general, Psychic is strong. There we go. Let's just hope that Kabino can survive. Would be rather sad if they died out early, but they are very powerful. So, you know, very much the MVP. Mibs was the MVP of last fight, but Kabino is going to be the MVP in most fights. There's a reason people say that Psychic is just one of the best types in Gen 1. What else? You got a Geodude? Okay. That's 9 levels below us. Alrighty. Yeah, these very much are one-click kill fights for now. Oh, a Machop, you say? Bye-bye. There we have it. And then I assume... Oh, we actually can avoid them. There's an item there, but I don't think it's anything too important, so... and we cannot avoid her. Okay. If necessary, I can go back for that item later. Ah, an Oddish, you say? Sounds like poison type to me. Goodbye. God, truly the Kabino sweep of this route. Yeah, at the very least in the original run, I don't think he ever got a Psychic type Because, I mean, he has a ghost type in the form of Haunter for the express purpose of fighting Sabrina, and then after that, nothing is, like, of the more weird types. So I don't think he got Ralts either. The main, like, issue is just the fact that he clogs up his teams with the starters and Pikachu, typically at least. So he usually ends up with not a lot else. What am I doing? Anyways, reflect. Cuts physical damage in half. That's pretty nice. Confusion is just worse Psybeam, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I feel like I was gonna look something up, but forgetting it. What was I doing? Certainly something. Whatever, it'll come to me if it's important. Alrighty, we have reached Bill. Hello, Pokemon. You're not a Pokemon, you are Bill. Time to get into the computer. Yeah, it really is the case. That last spot just shuffles. Yeah, so he hasn't really had any real psychic types ever. Yeah, thanks for the... Well, you're welcome for the help. Give us the ticket. There we go. And now we can continue on our journey. On this next route, I think maybe the only notable encounter we can get is, like a Meowth. Which we did, through Miwo, get some actual use out of, remarkably. So I guess we'll see if we do this time as well. Oh, wild connection for him to be married to Green's sister, huh? God, I appreciate that the manga does some weird stuff. I might start reading it soon. Oh, yeah. Alright. We don't need to worry too much about this fight. We have Kabino, and this is a rocket grunt. Should be able to just sweep. Yeah. I do find it funny how weird the games get sometimes, and like the things that they let happen, like, you know, becoming a Pokemon or things like that. Because I feel like every game, well, not game, every version of the media has the ways that it makes things batshit insane, but they're never the same between each other. Anyways, Psychic versus Psychic. We're higher level. God, that doesn't do much damage. And they have a non-psychic move, but it doesn't do that much damage either, and we outspeed, so whatever. I'm not worrying about swapping. Just gonna want to heal again after this. Alrighty. Thanks for the TM. I do find it funny that he steals the TM and then gives it to us to return it, and then we never do. Truly, we are the bigger criminals of all. Alrighty. Yeah, I can't think of anything else on this next route other than Meowth, though, that we're gonna get. I don't think there's anything there that we don't have. Either way, if we don't immediately get it, might as well check while I'm just waiting for something to pop up. Hi, Bellsprout. Oh, yeah. Yeah. God, the old chateau was fucking weird. I remember as a kid being afraid of that place. Alright, what do we got here? Three Bellsprouts, Jesus. Yeah, Meowth is literally the only thing we can find here that we don't already have. So we're just going to be fishing for a Meowth. Not that it's the least likely thing here, but yeah, until we get it. There it is. Alright. We haven't bought more balls. We need to be careful. And why is Cabino in front? Oh, Mibs. Get in here and put this thing to sleep. Went for the kill with that bite. Alright, it is asleep. It is 9 levels below us. So I'm just gonna throw a ball and see how it goes. There we have it. Simple as that. Alright, so we had Miwo before. Yeah, money farming time it is. Payday, baby. I don't think the amulet coin is in this game, or if it is, I don't know how to get it. We have a few too many names ending in an E sound, so I'm gonna try to mix that up. Yomp. Yeah, I do in fact have 2 Team Rocket Pokemon, huh? Practically can't get Ekans because, you know, it's what Sandshrew replaces in the FireRed LeafGreen combo. But we technically could get a Weezing much later. It's gonna be hard though, because it'll probably just explode. Anyways, we go up. Yeah. Alright, now, before I waste my time here, I don't know if there are any Pokemon we can even catch here that aren't, duplicates. Yeah, it's just Pidgey, Bellsprout, and then there's things you can catch in the water. So I'm just gonna pass by here, not catch anything, and, save it for the future. Pivot around that guy. This isn't actually a double battle, so we should be able to just fight this one. I am looking forward to getting the Heart Gold, though. As I've mentioned before, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I think, are my favorite in the series, just because of how big they are, and also just in general, I'm a big fan of them. Partially because of nostalgia, but in general, very solid. I know what I was going to check earlier. I was going to check the level cap. Because it's only 24. So I'm going to finish this fight with Cabino and then bench Cabino. Because we don't want Cabino over-leveled if we can help it. Jesus Christ, that Hyper Fight. Yeah, very much though, once we get Heart Gold, I think I mentioned it in a previous stream, but I very much intend to, if we get past the Elite Four, just go into Johto, into Kanto again as well with it. Just do the full all the way to red Gambit if we can manage it. Because I feel like that is fun. But I will also say with that, I will not worry about doing round 2 like I am here if we beat everything up to red but not red, or everything up through the Elite Four but then fail at one of the Kanto gyms or something. I'm not going to worry about that. Need some Pokeballs. Let's bring it back up to 15. That's a clean amount. Yeah, very much so. That is the main sort of struggle of the more freestyle, because there's this where the cap is really close, and then there's another point where it like really opens up, and then everything is really, really close, if not the same. So we'll have to plan that out pretty carefully. Anyways, we got the bike voucher because we listened to this guy talk about his Rapidash or whatever it was. And now, we could go straight to the SSN, but we also have a couple routes we can grab. I think also we might be able to pick up either the Old Rod or Good Rod here, maybe? I always forget. I'm just gonna take a quick look in any of the houses we can. Yep, seems like it. Alright, is it old or normal? Okay, old. Not gonna use that much, because that's basically just Magikarp, but might use it at some point. But now, we can pick up a Diglett, or Dugtrio, and a whatever the hell we get from this other route. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use Kabino again until we get to our rival fight on the SS Anne, and then I'll use them when necessary, and then I'll save them until the gym proper. Alright, level 20 Diglett, nice. If we can manage it, it's a good pickup. 9-6, shouldn't kill by any means, but yeah, no, we're fine. I'm not going to use Vine Whip here, though, because that probably will just kill even though we're so close in level. I'll start actually just by throwing a ball. See how it goes. If we don't need to make it more complicated, we don't. Like that means. Like that, there we go. Alright. There we have it. Diglett. So last time we had to launch. Good old Feebas. Zarf. There we have it, Zarf. Alright, we got our pickup from here. And now... we didn't get hurt, L, did we? We did a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I don't think we should be getting one-shot by anything. And now... we might just get another Psychic type here. Yep! Okay, we are set on Psychic types if we can catch this. It probably has insomnia, so I'm gonna poison powder. And then I'll just throw balls until it dies. Well, gets caught, rather. It missed a disable. We have 14 balls after all. Should be fine to waste a couple if necessary. And it was not necessary. We're getting pretty lucky on these catches, all things considered. Our only lost catch was because of Pumpkus. Okay, I don't know why this name came to me, but something just entered my mind and it has to be the option. Babazool! Drowsy is now known as Babazool. Really? Okay. Alright. Fine. Fine, we'll do one more fight. God, I want to use Cabino. Not intimidate! Alright, I'm gonna sleep and pivot. They are equal level to us, so it is worth, like, actually paying attention here. Let's give Pumpkus some time in the sun. They haven't been able to spill blood recently. Let's get Hyperfang out in front. Nice. And then I should be able to do his quick attack. There we go. And they only have one, okay. No wonder it was on level. Alrighty, now that we have our pickups for this area, we can just go to the SSN after I heal. And I am going to pick up as many items as I can, just because SSN is not really a thing we can come back to. But I'm going to try to be quick about it so that we can get to this gym. Actually, I guess now would be the time to decide what our team for our next rival fight would be. Because we're not going to be able to change once we're on. Okay, functionally the same team, but their Abra is now Kadabra, so it actually, like, can do things. Alright. In which case, once again, we don't have, like, a specific answer for Pidgeotto, but just anything powerful can work. Raticate is Raticate, so Punch the Rat. Punch the Rat is the answer. And then Kadabra is Kadabra, which could be scary. If we had a bug move, that'd be solid. Otherwise, though, Dark type is what we're looking for. None of our current Mons have Dark type, I don't think. Yeah, but we do have someone with Dark type, I believe. Yeah, I think we do. I think Vulu might. Yeah, we only got a Geodude much later from Rock Tunnel last run. Yeah, okay, Bite. We got Bite. Vulu, you're coming along. We want to keep Mibs for, their Squirtle. Or actually, I think it might be a... Yeah, it's a Wartortle at this point. Funnily enough, Dremgi isn't going to get too much use in this fight necessarily. Admittedly, for variety, not to have two flying types. Let's go with that. Yeah, but flying is good against War Turtle as well. So, it is actually better coverage for, like, super effectiveness. Boxing the boy, oddly enough. Alright, so yeah, we got Vulu in here to be our dedicated psychic killer. Oh, but they are a poison type. That's actually concerning. Maybe not. Maybe we just brute force it. Because that is concerning. Maybe we don't box him and just, like, use him as, insurance against... as just, like, a powerhouse against Kadabra. Unless Kadabra is, like, very physically weak or something. That is possible, I guess. I don't think we need to worry about this too hard, but yeah, they absolutely are weaker physically than anything. So we probably don't need Dremgi, but we'll keep him. We'll use our special boy. Vulu would be nice for the dark type, but I do not trust Vulu to outspeed Kadabra, I don't think. Because Kadabra has decent speed. Kadabra does, in fact, have decent speed. Okay. Let's do it. Who do I want out in front for this? Let's have Punkus spill some blood. No, there's gonna be a fair amount of water types probably, so Zimdy. Alright, let's start on this floor. Go one by one. I think this is the heal room. And it doesn't look like there's anything in here. Guaranteed fight, okay. Excuse me. Alright. For a second I got worried because I forgot that they aren't actually ground type yet. I thought I was wasting an attack. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is that second room, because I know there's just a random girl that lets you sleep in her bed to heal in this, like, floor. And I'm pretty sure it's that one. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Hopefully we can avoid as many of these fights as possible. Just want to make sure we don't miss out on any, like, TMs or anything. And useless. Alright. Alright, nothing. Something. And I don't think we can avoid... Okay. I did not know you turned. Apologies, miss, I did not know your game. Ah, the Pidgeotto trade, like, standoff. Whose gust is more powerful? Crazy. Yeah. As many quick turns as we can avoid, the better. Should be able to deal with this fairly quickly, though. Oh god, not my defense! Of course we're poisoned. Alright, time to go test if that lady is the healer. There we have it. Let's see. If I... Yep, I was right. There we go. And now, let's see if we can avoid that guy because... Wrong room. Because we fought the other one. He can! Brick break, okay, okay. Not bad. Getting out his way quickly. Okay. Let's see. I think it's the kitchen here. Yep. And if I recall correctly, there is, yep, a pecha berry there. A cherry berry there. And a chesto berry there. Some berries. And then a great ball. That's actually pretty nice. And then we go downstairs just to cover everything. I believe it's a super potion here? Hyper potion! That's nice. Let's just go out. Nothing in here, I don't think. Oh, there is! Super potion? Okay. Not that these are, like, really that useful to us, but you know. Don't be an automatic fight. It's not, thank God. Nothing of worth. Okay, mandatory fight, but at least there's an item. I also don't like that, what he said there. Alright, we got a water type against a bird. Who wins? Oh wow, it takes that way better than I thought it would. Not my speed! Anything but my speed! Alright, one more hit. Just to preserve PP, I'll just quick attack. But, yeah. There we go. Cindy's getting up there a little bit, but it's fine. We still have some room before we have to bench him. And they're doing fucking no damage to us, so we're completely fine. What? I didn't try to run. Oops, okay. I meant to quick attack. I was one... Okay, the unnecessary crit. Very zoomed-y. Very zoomed-y. And what? Do you have another horsey? Crazy! This guy's doing some crazy team comps here. I think this guy could make it to the Elite Four. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that they are. At least of the ones we're using right now. It is very painful how close to two-shot all of these horsies were. Truly, for once. No bubbles for us. Alright, what did we fight for? An ether! That is actually so worth it! Alright. No mandatory fights, please. Is there something there? There is. Can we get to it? Okay. I wonder if they're programmed to automatically turn when you do that, like enter that spot so that you can't soft lock yourself back there. I can see that as a possibility. Poison me. That was a crit? Okay, we're fine. Besides, we two-shot here. Another unnecessary crit. It's the Zimdy way. Get crits only when they don't matter. Yeah. Thank God we didn't get fucking poison there. We have potions, so we would have been fine. It just would have been annoying. Oh my God, is it gonna do recover tactics? Based on how much it healed, we'll whittle it down. It didn't this time, though. Okay. Alright, we live. Definitely gonna want to heal after this, though. There we go. What did we fight for this time? Oh, a Reth TM. Okay, not horrible. Now, I am gonna, just because it's the last room, go check this room, but I'm gonna pivot Zimdy out of the front. Oh, Pumpkis! It's your turn for blood! Okay, no. And then we go up, back to the healing room. Heal me. And then we go up, where there's a few more rooms to deal with. And then upstairs, which I think we can traverse without fighting anyone. And there's nothing up here. Beautiful. Yeah. That is the unfortunate thing for a lot of those moves, is we get GMs for them, but usually they're best on the Pokemon who learn them naturally. Nothing. Okay, this would be a two-fighter, but presumably it's worth an item. Anyways, that guy looks like a fisherman. Sorry, not Rumnus. The memories. Pumpkis, Zimdy is the choice here. Oh, that's an interesting pick for it as well. Huh. I haven't considered that one. I've not used Suicune much ever, though, as well, so... Okay, we're confused. Hopefully we can fight through it. Have we ever successfully broken through confusion? I don't think we have. Not in this run, at least. Well, Zimdy has broken that chain if it existed. Yeah, they are approaching the level cap. That is a good thing to keep in mind. But this should realistically be one of the only fights left. Anyways, we are now done with the confusion, which is good. Water sport? What are they doing? Oh no, fire is weak now! Anyways, I continue killing you. Alright, yeah. This last one will get Zimdy up to the cap, which means we'll want to bench him until the important fights. Almost the one-shot, okay. Anyways, we get confused again. Break through. You've done it once, you can do it again. Yeah, Zimdy! Moves like Water Sport are so silly to me. Like, they have their use cases, but god are they niche, and usually they're on Pokemon that need them the least. Alright, before we fight this other guy, let's pivot to give Pumpkis some time in the sun. What do you got, old man? I'm gonna guess like a Growlithe or something? A Pikachu? Okay. A level 23 Pikachu. Can it survive a Hyper Fang? It's faster than us, not surprising. And now we're paralyzed. Of course. But we still get the Hyper Fang. And that was almost a one-shot. Okay. They quick attack, so we don't get our quick attack, but that's fine. We just ignore our paralysis. There we go. Nice and easy. Pumpkiss's power. Yeah, no, both water sport and ground sport are, well, mud sport are just so silly. Is there anything there? No. Okay, there is an item here. And we'll have to fight one person. But we can avoid the other. They have a growler. Okay. Oh, I guess we are still paralyzed. Oh well. Presumably we still win these. Yeah. I guess those do give a lot of money. Huh. Yeah, they are one of the more valuable ones. We miss our fucking Hyper Fang, okay? Sure. Alright. Why not, Pumpkiss? Risk your own life? I feel like the Paralyze is just not doing anything, other than slowing us down. Not a growl. Our precious attack. Yeah, we should be able to re-shot, unless that was a low roll, then two-shot. Oh hey, paralyzed. Anyways, don't kill us. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, it's a three-shot. Quick attack. Little quick attack. Does work. Does numbers. Now Pumpkiss is 22. Yeah, really good money, huh? Yo, an X attack? An item we'll never get use out of? Crazy. Alright, I'm going to go heal, just to be safe. Realistically, this is the last time we'll heal before we need to heal for the rival fight. So, we should be good, all things considered. That is a good question, actually. I don't think so. Yeah, no, they have Runaway. Pumpkiss is our running boy, or girl. It would have been nice if they had Guts, but I suppose not. Alright, I think this was the next room. Is there anything there? No. I'm just gonna double check that this is the room we already did. Yeah. And then the last room. Is there even anything here? Nope, okay, actually we're ready for the fight. I think I'll level everyone to 23, just because this should be the last fight before the gym. That way we're, you know, pretty much on level for the fight, but we're not risking over-leveling. Oh, smoke screen. Accuracy reduction, baby. Let's get rid of Growl. We don't really need Scratch, but why not? Alright. Ambino is already there, so it's just jumped. Focus energy. Did they already have a chance of learning this? Yep, very much so. A different version of Tuvant will sweep a different version of Lieutenant Surge. That is the goal. Alright. Now that we are all leveled enough, let's consider what we throw at what. Cabino probably can just obliterate the bird. Let's do that. Send one of our strongest fighters out first. And then we'll pivot into gems for punching the rat. And then just our strongest fighter, other than Cabino, for their Kadabra. Alright. Psybeam. One shot. Beautiful. Oh yeah, passing the puzzle in one try would be so nice. Alright, now, because they open with that, let's get Nibs in here. I think we are a little over-leveled for this fight, but that's fine. Oh god, their defense has risen. Anyways, I'm not that afraid of them, so Poison Powder. Unless I miss. I can always miss. I do have Bite, but that doesn't fuck all damage. I missed twice. Mibs, you were so good before! You did so well in the last major fight! Alright, finally. Finally we get the poison out. How much does a Vine Whip do? Enough! Enough. I probably didn't need to use the poison powders, honestly. Nice insurance, though. There we have it. And then what do we got? Ah, the Kadabra. I'm gonna sleep it. They missed the disable. You get it to sleep. Yeah. Vacation Mibs. Alright, and then let's just throw in one of our toughest boys. How does Gremgi compare currently? They have Ember right now, which is power 40. And they have a 42 special attack, not bad. Meanwhile, 40 attack, 40 power. Yeah, let's give our boy Gremgi a moment in the sun. He doesn't get that many opportunities. They're still fast asleep, that's good. Ember. If I want to be bullshit, I could just, while they're asleep, set up Smokescreen, but nah. We don't need to do that. We're killing pretty quickly anyways. There we go. Kadabra was not a threat, thanks to some sleep. And then Eradicate. Okay. Though we probably could just kill it easy, I'm gonna have Gem to punch the rat. Holy Tail Whip, okay. Our defense down plus Hyper Fang is a little scary, but Karate Chop should be able to do work. Good, a double Tail Whip. Okay, it is still a one-shot. Good. Actually, we were 7 levels higher. I was afraid for what a double Tail Whip Hyper Fang was gonna look like, though. But yeah, no, it is very funny how the Charmander line sort of takes a back seat for early game. Early game is not their time. Because just the first 2 gyms, they aren't good in, outside of, if you have no better options, Metal Claw. And then Gem 3, they just don't really have any stark advantage or disadvantage. And then Gem 4 is their standout moment. That's where they can just clean up shop. Because Grass doesn't do well against fire, believe it or not. But then in general after that, it's pretty neutral. And then you fight the ground gym. Yeah, well, Metal Claw, they didn't obviously have it in Gen 1 proper, but it is sort of the thing that makes Charmander not just objectively the worst option. Well, they are still the worst option for the first gym of the initial starters, but it means they have an answer to Gym 1. Alright, so let's heal up, teach Cut to someone. And then let's get in there. Alrighty. We gotta get our boy out. Ozar? Who's most in danger? The flying type. That makes sense. Alright. Otherwise, though, our team is just sort of, like, here to do damage, if necessary. So I think we're fine with this layout. We don't need to swap it up unnecessarily. Unless we just don't want one of these people to know cut, but I think it's fine. We didn't teach cut to the person who is a normal type. Oh, Pumpkus! Time for you to learn how to cut down trees in place of tackle, I guess. Yeah, fair. That is very fair. It is funny how Charizard is actually even worse against a lot of the gyms. It's just mostly the ones that aren't before you would reasonably have a Charizard. Alrighty. We cut down the tree. We go in, we see if Streamer Luck exists. Not anything the first time. Not anything the second time. Not anything the third time. Not anything the fourth time. Not anything that time. I'm gonna do my best to avoid the trainers. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Want to avoid them as best I can. No. No. No, it's gonna be like the last one, isn't it? It literally was the last one! And now, Streamer Luck.
Streamer Luck is real.
Oh my god! We did it, boys! Oh my god. How did that happen? How is that real? How, though it took going through all of them to get to it, how did we get that so quickly? Okay. Yeah, Blastoise is the only one without a second type. Alright, yeah, it's only when it's not the gotcha stuff that I get the Streamer Luck. Anyways, I am going to level up our little guy a little bit before this one mandatory fight. And bring them up to 73, I think. Just for the sake of giving them the best chance of not dying in this fight. There we go. And then we go into the fight. Did I say 73? Yeah, no, I'm gonna level him up to 73. I meant 23. I've been messing up my numbers a lot recently. There goes Pikachu. Yeah, for some reason, I mix up the numbers when I say them, despite thinking the right number a lot recently. Just as a little bit of lore about me, I play a lot of tabletop RPGs, and was actually playing some just earlier today, but was on multiple occasions. I did not level people up to levels 24. I was talking too much. Hopefully it's fine. But multiple times I would just say the wrong number despite thinking the right number. Anyways, hopefully we're fine here. Magnitude 6 ain't great, but it's something better than 5. Not a one-shot. Incredible. Zarf should have this. Yeah. Super Potion on the first one is actually good for us. Magnitude 8 absolutely kills. Now, if we're lucky, we'll just get another Magnitude 8 or higher on the rest. Alright, Pikachu. They're lower level than us. A quick attack won't save them. Only 6, okay. Still a one-shot, though, because it was its lowest level. I don't know why. I feel like my nose gets itchy during streams, but no other time. That's just like why I'm sort of scratching my nose sometimes. Not the double team! Don't do this to me. Don't do this. Another Magnitude 6. Zarf loves those Magnitude 6s. Still about half health, so another one of those should do it, assuming we don't just get one shot by a quick attack. Okay. Nothing but 6 other than that 1-8. Still enough. Still enough. Zarf did everything they needed to. Zarf, despite being one level lower than intended, still sweeps Surge. There we go. Another clean gym. Misty got a little scary, but we had the answer nonetheless. And this one swept real nice and easy. Yeah. Thank God I didn't get punished for that. I would have been so annoyed with myself. But yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, though, before I just stumbled into the boss fight, I play a lot of tabletop RPGs. It's sort of like, outside of just video games in general, it is the thing I do the most with my time in my free time. So, don't be surprised if I try to find a way to integrate something about RPGs into my channel at some point. Realistically, the first way that it would happen is just like playing Baldur's Gate or something. Anyways, why am I going this way? We need to go back up. Avoid trainers as best I can. I guess realistically I should put Pumpkus in front because they have Runaway. Not that it really matters, but you know. Now, if I remember correctly, it was either around here or not far from here that we actually ended the first stream when we were doing our first run, but I'm still up to go a little longer at the very least. At the very least, I'm up to get to Lavender Town, I think. And just use this, because we want to go into town for the sake of getting the bike. Not that I intend to use it too much, but this way we can go on the bike. Yeah, I believe it should be a guarantee. I also just realized, between Zarf and Kabino, we have Dig and Teleport for just escaping places. Alright. On this next route, I'm not sure what we can catch. If anything, really. It might be a duplicate, at which point I'll just skip it for now. Okay, a mandatory fight. They look like a camper, so they probably have anything from grass to rock types, so I'm gonna let Dremgy get in here. And as we go into this fight, I'm gonna double check what our new level cap is. 29 is our new level cap. So we're still sort of tight on levels, but we should be fine. Ember should just make clean work of them. Oh wow, they actually survived? Oh my god, but they got burned? Oh, that's nice. Oh my god, we slept. Roller coaster of emotions there. Alright. It dies instantly. And what else you got? A Bellsprout. I'm gonna just brute force it because we are a fire type. Oh god, Wrap! Oh no! I think Stremgy waking up not at the max. And that time it is a one-shot. Very nice. Oh! We get another chance at a Sandshrew. We might be able to actually get a Sandshrew this time. Yeah, no, that burn was very opportunistic for us. That was quite nice. And certainly frustrating if they were an actual person. Remgy's at full power now. Realistically, we can just sort of sweep our way with whatever we have for a while here. I don't think we'll naturally get to 29 that quickly. Alright, if we go down here, there's almost certainly a chance we fight this guy, but Aerial Ace TM is Aerial Ace TM. Turn. The quick turn. Yeah, streamer luck is certainly an interesting thing. I feel like streamer luck works only for, like, the funniest outcomes, predominantly. Because unnecessary crits, finishing puzzles instantly, gambling, the next opportune burn. Okay, I'll take it. But then also the bad luck of things like quick turns. Alright, let's see what a Metal Claw does here. Never mind. I'm gonna swap. Oh, Gemt, I think it's time for a low kick. Cool. Missing the bind is nice. Anyways, die instantly, Onyx. Alright. Low kick is such a wildly powerful move in such specific circumstances, I feel like. I honestly slept on it for a while until I realized how actually sort of useful it was when we were like I was saying, the quick turn. Until we were desperate to find an answer in Elite Four. Alright, the Growlithe. Not gonna do Dremgy because Dremgy is dying. Let's just bring Kabino out, because it's Kabino. Odor Sleuth, okay. Sure, why not? Psybeam. The fact that that one-shots almost everything is insane. I guess it is like a 65 power stab move that basically nothing resists. Anyways, wild that they have a Charmander. Still gets one shot though. There we go. And now it is time to catch another Mon, I think. Nope, we have a bug catcher. With the team we currently have, I'm just gonna heal our main guy. Dremgy, get some juice back. Might as well use the potions since we don't use them in combat. one more bug catcher before we catch a sand shrew, hopefully. If we had caught that sand shrew before, we would have just obliterated even harder, if necessary, Lieutenant Surge, because we could have just had 2 ground types. Alright, not a one-shot. Impressive, impressive. Crazy. Once again, same verse. Second verse, same as the first, rather. That's what I was trying to say. God. I find it so sad when they attempt to do any kind of setup, but are getting 2-shot. His only response was, what? Alrighty, here's the grass patch. Oh, Mibs, it's your time! While we're here and thinking about it, let's get the ether from this rock, and then we shimmy. And now we hunt for a sand shrew. Because I believe it's the lowest chance. I run into a lot of Rattatas here. I'm sort of thinking that, depending on how long it takes, we'll see, but I'm thinking I might see if we can get to Celadon, because that's just, like, a nice, convenient spot, for me to, like, be able to set up things, evolve some Pokemon, that kind of stuff. Yeah, Pokewatch is nice. Depending on how long things take, though, I might just end at, like, Lavender Town or something. Depends on how much energy I have, like, in an hour. There's our Sandshrew. Level 15. Pretty nice. Let's get a Sleep Powder on there. And I might just chuck our Great Ball at it. Be as safe as possible. Come on, look, let's do it. There we go. We got our Sandshrew in the end. It may have been on the second try, but we got our Sandshrew and didn't miss out on anything in the process. Huh, what to name him? This feels right. Grumb. Grumb is part of the team now. For variety's sake, I might do them in place of our resident Lieutenant Surge Sweeper. Give some opportunity of variance. Truly the original Hedgehog Pokemon, yeah. Hello, Grumb. Welcome to the team. Zarf, you've done good work. I'll let you rest for now. I'm liking the team we've put together. I think I'm gonna keep it for now. And might as well heal up while we're here. Alright, the fucking tree here is the best way to get out. And now we continue forth. Actually, I should probably make sure that Grumb is at all levels. I'm honestly sort of impressed how many rare candies we've gotten through here. Poison Sting, okay. A little bit of type variance. I'm gonna bring him up to 23 as well, I think. Just like, nice simple. Oh, they're already evolving! Sand Slash time, baby! There we have it. No one goes unevolved. And then just one more level for the road as a treat. There we go. Now let's take a gander at our boy, or girl. Sand Veil, so evasion up in sandstorms, probably not going to come up much. Scratched Fence. What does this move say? What? Gromba, I'm so sorry. You're sort of shit. We might use you at some point later, but not now. I'm sorry, Grump, I was excited to use you, but come back when you have a ground-type move. Wrong person? What am I doing? I think that is the entire reason it has it. Like, sure, it's sort of nice type variants, but I would much rather having Magnitude or another ground-type move. Alright, I thought I'd do something fun, vary things up, use a Pokemon that I like the design of, but no, they don't have good moves yet. Alright, on we go. I think we got past them. No, they quick-turned us. I'm predicting there's a person there. Never mind. There's a person there, though. Let's get our resident bug killer in front and see how it goes. Classic one-shot. Not surprising in the slightest. Probably gonna just repeat the process. He doesn't learn any offensive ground-type moves naturally. What? What is Sand Slash's moves? That is fucking weird. I mean, obviously you could probably teach him Earthquake or something by force, but... wild that there is a ground type that does not have any stab moves. They learn Swift? Why did they learn Swift? Wait, is there something this way? I walked into that one. That is all me. And they have 4 Pokemon? God damn it. Alright, Gremkey. Burn this rat alive. Oh wow, we didn't even one-shot. Yeah, there aren't a lot of, like, good ground TMs other than Earthquake. Earthquake is like the ground move, and then there's not much else. Sandshrew, huh? Dabino, get in here. You can probably just sweep everything anyways, so... I did more damage than I expected. Either way, Psybeam can just one-shot, so we should be fine. Especially if they're a poison type. I don't care about Intimidate. Especially if we crit, Jesus Christ. These unnecessary crits. They keep coming. Yeah, well, hey, now that they have Recover, they're gonna survive all the better. Deflect is nice. Disable is circumstantially useful. I'm gonna get rid of Teleport because we have somebody with Dig. Which, though they don't serve the exact same purpose, they're functionally the same for, like, where I'd use them, mainly. Another Sandford. Yeah, Kabino is our shining star of a Pokemon for this run, and if they die, I will be so sad. Alright, was this in any way worth it? No. Alright, can we avoid this guy? We can. I do that to avoid them. Yeah. Dig has some good use as well. Alright. Mibs, come out. It's time to catch a Pokemon. Probably a Voltorb. The Gorb did good work for us last run, so... Oh, we could have caught a Sandfruit here if we needed to, huh? Alright, well, we already have one. It's sort of disappointing, unfortunately. Wow, the one-step encounter. There's our Voltorb. Let's put it to sleep and catch it. Realistically, we can just immediately throw a ball. It's 9 levels below us. And I believe in streamer luck. Yeah, well, Agatha is the main place that there'll be any real threat just because Ghost type. But with Recover, as long as they don't get one shot, or, well, it's rough there. We ideally want an alternate thing. But that's the only place they're really in danger. They won't be as helpful against Sabrina just because Psychic resists Psychic, but they could just go toe-to-toe resisting constantly. Level-viv. Alright, there is our catch. We got an electric type now, which is a nice addition to the sort of variety we got. And now, let's go and see if we can catch ourselves like a Geodude or a Machop or something. Because I think those are the two most common options in Rock Tunnel. Oh god, we're going into Rock Tunnel. Time to pull up the map. Doing my best not to get lost in here, because I do not want to waste that time. Technically, we could get an Onix and a 5% chance here. Alright, where are we? There, okay. Let's make sure I have the person I want out in front. Mibs is the person who I want out in front, actually. We go this way. We go down. We fight someone. What do you got, Pokemaniac? Cubone, you will die instantly to a Vine Whip, hopefully. Yeah, you are on level. Yeah, okay, 2-shot, not 1-shot. Can you leer? Okay. Yeah, we do not want the Onix. We do not want that 5% chance. What else you got? A Slowpoke. Okay, it dies all the same, but you know, okay. Ow. There we have it. And now, we continue walking as we pray to not win the 5%, but now that we have talked about it, so... Ooh, Acid! Not like a crazy powerful move, but good. I'm gonna get rid of Growth. Just do the 1-2 options for damage and then the statuses. Okay. But yeah, now that I've said so much about not getting the 5% chance and hoping we don't... It's gonna get manifested, I feel like. Alright, we keep going down, we go this way, we keep going this way until we hit a wall. We get an encounter. It's a Mankey, so we skip it. I forgot that you could get Mankey here. And now, we got to the wall, so we go up, we get another encounter. Is it what we want? It's a Geodude! Okay, that I think is our best option here. Because Doma Chop is nice. We already have our fighting type for now. So let's get a Sleep Powder on him. And just throw a ball, because that's been working so far. We did not get the 5% chance, which is good. If we can avoid Onyx, all the better. Alright, can we get it? No! I'll try again. But then I'll just sort of try wheeling down. One, two, three. There we go. Nice and easy. Just took the one ball. Well, two. Took one loss of the ball, rather. So before we had Zyvit... Oh my god, if we got Machoke and just had all of the trade evolutions, that'd be insane. We get Ghastly on top of it. Just make a full team of trade evolutions. I'm gonna continue the trend of Geodudes being horrid names. Tixel. Tixel. I guess it would be like Tixkel, because pronouncing the K. Alright, so we're going up, we hit the ladder, and then where are we? There, okay. We move to the wall. We hit the wall. Actually, do I want to... No, Mibs has strength left. Mibs can fight a bit longer, and we're gonna run into plenty of, like, Geodudes and stuff anyways. I love the part of the game where I can't see anything. And then we go this way. We fight someone. Alright, this should go down pretty easy. If not a... They are one level above us, so definitely not a one-shot. Alright, confusion, worrying. Yeah, okay, that hurt more than I would hope, but we should one-shot here. Alright. And then we keep going. I'm gonna shimmy closer to the wall. There's a one rock there, so I think it should be right next here that we go up. Yeah, no, I often have just been impatient and done that, but it's honestly, in a way, just easier with the map, I feel like. It means I don't need to waste a TM, not that I'd ever really use it, but... I guess because Mibs is a little low health, I shouldn't leave him in front. Let's get Kabino in here. Kabino can fight anything. I guess I did that perfectly one step before. Alright, what you got for us? Picnicker Martha? An Oddish, okay. Your poison type will not survive. Oh, Bulbasaur! Anyways, dies all the same. In Gen 4, maybe? I think Defog also was, though, or was the one that you're thinking of. It's been long enough since I properly played Gen 4 that I honestly don't remember. Alright, so we can just go to this next wall, assuming that random encounters let us. Okay, we hit the wall, we go up, we move past the wall, we hit this wall now so that we can just immediately go up once we hit the end of this wall. There's a Machop. Well, Machop, rather. I don't know how I know so many of the Pokemon names. Oh, hey, there's a person. There's an Onix, okay. Like, how is it that I know, like, I think I know easily at least half of all the Pokemon by name, if I, like, think about it. And then on top of that, I know, like, even just, like, with a little bit of thought, I can get the names of most, if not all, of the Genshin, Star Rail, and Zenless characters. And between all of that, I'm already memorizing 1,000, like, not 1,000 necessarily, because half of Pokemon is not 1,000 yet. That's much closer to the full amount. But lots of random names and characters to just randomly know the names of that. I mean, I guess now that I'm doing this is useful, but in everyday life, not really doing me much. Alright, that should be this one, I think? Yeah, there's a wall there. Okay, so if we go down, there's a person there. Can we get around them? No, we cannot. Let's see, we're gonna have to fight him, but should be able to just go this way. Oh yeah, the Pokemon rap really helps to memorize the first 151. God. Speaking of the Poke rap, do you remember the second Poke rap? The one that was for Johto? Because that existed, if you don't remember. Yeah, no, I am very bad with names as well. It's, it doesn't necessarily show in my content as much, but that is because I actively try my best to force myself to remember the names as much as I can, because I know I will not remember them otherwise. Like, in my anime reactions, I am so often forgetting names, but I'll just edit around the times where I'm like, what's that person's name, and then go search for it. Because that happens more than I'd care to admit, but oh hey, would you look at that, I'm admitting it here. Alright, yeah, so we'll just hit this wall, we'll go down until it turns, and then we just keep following it. Ooh, perfectly missed that guy. Okay. I think so. I forget exactly where the Poke Rap and, like, all of the other songs appeared, but God, for Kanto and Johto did they make a ton of songs, and then they stopped doing that for afterwards. Oh yeah, the One Piece pirate rap. Despite not watching the anime for One Piece ever, I am familiar with the pirate rap. Alright, where are we? There, okay. So we go this way. We hit a wall. Should be down slightly. Part of me with One Piece wants to pick up from where I last was reading it, because I read the first about 100 chapters of the manga, which I guess basically is just the East Blue arc, essentially. But I sort of like fell off of it briefly because I just read a ton in a brief period. But parts of me is tempted to... Oh, this is a trainer battle. What am I doing? But part of me is tempted to go back to it. The one thing that's mainly holding me back is the possibility of at some point reacting to it. Yeah. God, Pokemon has such good music, honestly, just in general. Whether it's the anime's songs or the game music, there's a lot of good music in Pokemon. I personally am also very partial to Gen 1 through 3's anime music. I feel like that's where consistently they have some just really solid songs in general. I think the Sinnoh ones are fine. I don't have anything against them. They're just not like as big a favorite of mine. God, there were so many trainers in this tunnel. Kabino is getting close to the level cap. That is a thing to keep an eye out for, but we should be able to get out of Rock Tunnel and be fine. Yeah, because we're pretty much at the end of Rock Tunnel. There might be like 1 or 2 more mandatory fights. But we're right... Oh, a Graveler, okay. But we're right around where the ladder up to the main floor is, and then we just have a brief walk, I believe. Yeah, okay, so if we go up here... Okay, another trainer here. One shot? No, it does not, because it's not very effective. I guess it is a psychic. But that was a crit? Oh no! This poor Slowpoke. Alright. Oh yeah, God. Re-uploads on the internet. Oh boy. That's a whole can of worms. Oh, hey, crit! Nice! Kabino coming in clutch. Not the most necessary, but I'll take it at any time. It's a one-shot rather than two-shot that way. God, they really did have 3 Slowpokes, huh? Come on, the double crit. Give it to me! Nah. When I was, a few months ago, just going through the anime, I fucking dived deep. I re-listened to, like, all of the songs they did several times. And I'm a fan of them. They're fun. They're fun. They're not, like, my #1 style of music or anything, but I do enjoy them quite a bit. In part for this nostalgia, I will admit. But, you know. Nostalgia is nice sometimes. It doesn't always have to be bad. Alright, yeah, okay, we're there. So we can get... That's a person. And we can avoid them. Can we avoid this one? Just zigzagging. That's a rock. Okay, we made it. Zigzag back. Down. Cross. For a second I thought we ran into a person. Yeah. Yeah, the movie certainly had a music choice at the end there. Oh, okay. Last mandatory fight. Luckily, Kabino can just sweep this up. They only have 2 side beams, never mind. Kabino will do as much as they can. especially if they crit. Kabino is all-powerful. Kabino is very strong. Oh, and this will probably one-shot as well. Yeah, because it's super effective, absolutely kills. And then the last one is a Pidgey. Well, we don't have any attacking moves on Kabino now, so... Remgi, I guess. Also probably worth to not use Kabino much anymore outside of important fights anyways. Yeah, just stab. Apparently I missed, because they fucking... sand attacked me. Luckily they whirlwinded for nothing, so it was just sort of a non-turn. Okay. Does Zard have a normal type move? Yes, he does. I did it. One thing I find very funny with the Pokemon music is how many times they have remixed the original theme. They understandably will just never let that go. I'm thinking about it. I think I think they did a remix of sorts of it for the last main theme of the Johto run. I think this guy might be a trainer, so I'm gonna let him turn. Okay. Yeah, the power of nostalgia is strong, and Pokemon knows how to wield that. But, yeah, I think it was the last one of Johto has sort of a remix of it. And then the next one I know for a fact is, I think the first XY, anime theme was essentially a remix or cover or whatever of it. Oh yeah, the Jigglypuff song, goddamn. Alright, so we're gonna be fighting our rival again here. Let's see what we can get. This time, they have Pidgeotto, Growlithe, Execute, Kadabra, and Wartortle. So they have the double Psychic, so Kabino can't sweep as hard. Growlithe exists. Funnily enough, first off, I think I'm just going to replace Zarf with our new Geodude, because I think Geodude is just tankier, which is nice. Good old Pixkull. Just had to make that name as impossible to say as possible. But then for Wartortle, we've got Mibs. For Growlithe, realistically, Tixkull could work. Yeah, okay. And then they no longer have their Eradicate, so we don't need to punch things. Pidgeotto. Levaviv is probably our best option there, so I'm gonna swap Gemt out. And then we just need an answer for the Psychics. Dremgi can just obliterate the Execute, because they're a Grass type. And then Kadabra is Kadabra. Honestly, if Mibs can be opportunely swapped without dying or anything, that'd be nice. It is scary because they are a poison type, but I don't know what else to really swap out necessarily. Like, we could get rid of Pumpkus just to double up on Sleep or something, but I think we're fine here. Kabino can just clean up if necessary. And levels-wise, their level 25 is their highest, so should be fine to just level up anybody who isn't already there to 25. Make sure we don't over-level. Yeah, we shouldn't be able to get a Ghastly yet, because we don't have the Silph Scope. Which I believe is necessary to even catch Ghastly in the first place. But we will be coming back for that later. If we can manage to get the whole, like, Nightmare Dream Eater combo active on a Gengar, I would love to do that. Yeah. A few of our people are already above 25, but that is fine. They'll just be powerhouses. And then the one that needs to level up a lot, Dixbull. Probably is going to evolve in the process of this. Self-destruct. It could be funny. I'll get rid of Defense Curl, and we just need to be very careful. Yeah, a little bit forward in the timeline. Admittedly, it's not that far, because we could just head over to Celadon, do the rocket hideout, and then immediately head back, but, you know. Alright, exactly at 25 is the evolution. Okay. The amount of trade evolutions is very funny. Dixbull is now a Graveler. And then Levoviv. I forget what level Levoviv. I'm gonna mess up my own character's name so much here, but I forget when they evolve. Probably in the like 20 to 30 range though. Spark? Yep. I would gladly take a actual electric move. Yeah, Screech, I think. Yeah, a couple more levels to go. There we go. Okay, no evolution. Yeah, I'm gonna be very careful to not mix-click that. It's gonna be very careful. But anyways, because they should open with Pidgeotto, I'm going to open with Levoviv. Hello, Charles. It's time for us to fight. And I have an even more optimal team now. Hopefully you don't kill any of my people. Alright, so we're equal level. Let's see what a Spark does. Quick attack is annoying. Enough damage that we can tank a hit or two. Especially when we're doing that much damage. Especially when we paralyze. Let's just go for another. Of course, they quick attack, makes sense. Luckily, Levoviv isn't needed for anything past this. Alright, what are you throwing at me next? Rowlith. Alright. Also good to pivot for the Intimidate, not that it matters really for Electric. So Dixbull is our answer to that. Yeah, I'm surprised how much Quick Attack was doing there, honestly. Yep, alright. The right choice for the swap. I am moving this there. We should be able to avoid it now. 929? Oh, you are so fucking dead, Rowlett. Yep, one shot. Nice and easy. And then the War Turtle, we need to get Dixbull out of here immediately, and Mibs in. We have an answer to everything! There we go. Nice. Let's Sleep Powder, unless we fail. We don't really need to, but... Scary. If they're gonna be critting like that, we need the sleep. Alright. And then obviously Vine Whip is the way, because grass is stab super effective. Probably gonna be a 3-shot, yeah. Oh wow, it already woke. And bit again, don't crit. We go first, right? Yeah. Okay. I was being a bit bold with that last one, but I think we were fine. Yeah, Mibs misses a lot. Admittedly, they are using decent mischance moves in the first place, but... Alright, then we get Gremgi in to just burn these eggs. Time to get cooking. Alright, respectable damage. Let's see how an Ember does. Not a one-shot. Okay. It missed the hypnosis, that's nice. And then we can... And then there was one. I think I'm just gonna throw out as many powerful hits as I can. See how we do. It is only a level 20, and we got the burn! Ooh, that's some nice luck. And Synchronize didn't work on us because we're fire. Ooh, that's scary, okay. I'm gonna pivot, especially now that we have the burn, we can just stall. Honestly, I'm gonna go to Combino just for the, like, resisting. Just tank until they die. Oh no, Kinesis! You benched the spoon! Not our accuracy! Anyways, you're on fire. Yeah, that actually is a very fair thing to compare here. We actually outspeed. We are 8 levels above, though, and god damn it. We miss the Psybeam, and it disables. Alright, sure. Anyways, fuck you, we're gonna disable back. Never mind. Anyways, time to just stall. Not gonna bother risking anything. Get disabled, idiot. No confusion for you. There we go. Nice and easy, nice and simple. And now Kabino is on level for the gym. Alright, there we go. We've done it, we've beaten our rival once more. I think that's the last time we're fighting them until Silphco, actually. I do find it interesting how much the rival is around early game and then just sort of disappears. Let's heal up. Nobody died, thankfully. Realistically, we can probably bring Kabino into Sabrina. It's just not our #1 option. Anyways, now to bring Mibs out in front again, just because we're about to catch them on. Can we avoid this fight? No, we cannot. Wow, that is long range. Alright. Let's just be safe and sleep powder. Alrighty. Just because it has more PP, let's see how Acid does. Not bad. It is stab after all. I'm just gonna use that because of the more PP. This is the route with the Growlithe, except because we're LeafGreen, it's gonna be Vulpix instead. I'm very curious about that because I've never really used a Vulpix, but I like Vulpix. Almost certainly because of the fact that Brock had a Vulpix, but still, you know. Doesn't change that I like Vulpix. They missed the Sing. I can't believe they survived, though. It does mean that Mibs being in front is a little scary, but I don't think we should get one shot when up against a wild Pokemon. Yeah, no, them getting Vulpix was a very sort of interesting thing, because it was actually, like, part of the storyline. That there was an entire episode about them getting it. Well, it wasn't really about Brock getting it, but it resulted in it. It was more about Vulpix, but, you know. Come on, give me the Vulpix. That's not a Vulpix, that's a bird. The nice thing is, even if we fail to get the Vulpix here, we have another chance immediately after. There they are. Alright, level 15, we're level 25. There's no real chance we die here unless we are just stupid. Alright. It's a 10 level difference, so I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna throw a ball. If we need to, I will use, like, a Vine Whip or something, because it's a fire type. Not needed, though. We get it on first try. Yeah, the Togepi one was a very funny episode, because just everybody wanted Togepi. Alright, Vulpix. Bahef the Vulpix. I love slamming letters together. Alright, in that case though, I think this next route is entirely redundant, so I'm not going to worry about picking anything up on it yet. Ooh, I'm avoiding things barely. Alright. Offsetting, so that we go to the right spot. God, this tunnel is long. There we go. I'll just double check to make sure. Because it is possible that there is actually something on this route. Assuming pages will load. Yeah, it's all stuff we have. Nothing of interest. If we need to catch another Vulpix or something, we can. But with that, we've reached Celadon. Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember him getting a fair amount of water Pokemon, though I'm less familiar with Hoenn's storylines. Well, from here, we've reached Celadon, which is a very good spot for me to just sort of do a lot of things off of stream, because we can, you know, evolve things. I can figure out when the best time to do that is, that kind of thing. And then we can just pick up with Gym and stuff. So I think I'm gonna leave things here, actually. A little abrupt, but I did mention earlier that I was thinking of doing that. Besides, it is around 11-ish where I am. I think I will leave it there. Like I said, I feel like things are going pretty well here, all things considered. We've only had one largely unimportant loss, though a loss nonetheless. We've got some good Pokemon on our hands. It's cool to see some of the variants from LeafGreen. And I'm a fan of what we got. Kabino is a big pickup. That is very nice for us. But with that, yeah. Looking to the future, obviously look out for future videos. But yeah, as you say, the next stream should be Zenless Zone Zero 2.0, and that should be, I believe, this Thursday. I'll double check. It's either Thursday or Friday. I'll make an announcement day of, obviously, but that's just later this week. That's gonna be huge. I'm very excited for that. Gonna be pulling for Yijuan then, obviously going through the story. Just very excited to see what's up with that. I did the pre-download of the version that you can just do in the launcher, and it was apparently like 40 gigs, which is fucking insane. But I'm very much looking forward to that. Next week should be sort of interesting, because I need to decide what I'm doing, because I'll either be doing 1 or 2 streams, depending on what I feel like. Because for the normal, like, back and forth, next week, Tuesday, would be Pokemon again, but I did Pokemon here, so there is part of me that maybe thinks variants, but also I am enjoying this, so I want to keep going. But then also Deltarune is coming out, and I made that one poll the other day, which, if you haven't checked that poll out, feel free to go. It's literally just asking if you're interested in seeing me stream Deltarune. And it looks like people either are neutral or want it, so I'll probably end up doing it. So either I'll probably do that on Tuesday instead of Pokemon, or I'll do it alongside Pokemon and again stream 2 times in the week. I haven't quite decided what I want to do there, but either way, keep an eye out for posts. One of those 2 things at least will be happening, maybe both. And then the week after that, I think the week after that is 5.7 Genshin, which will be with Skirk, and that is going to be the biggest poll session I have done yet, because God have I anticipated Skirk. But yeah, so that's sort of what to look forward into the future streams-wise. Videos always are going to be coming out as usual, that kind of thing. And yeah, so hope you all enjoyed the stream, hope to see you all again in the future, and yeah, bye-bye for now. Alright, and now we see if the stream actually swapped immediately. If it didn't, I'm just sort of talking here into nothingness until it does.